The Opie and Anthony Show on XM 202, featuring Opie, Anthony, and James Norton.
Do with this.
What? What is this?
Garbage! You know what? I can't take this anymore. It's an awful, awful radio show.
We're really, really mean-spirited, evil people who can't see the good in anything.
I think we've done a good job so far of being open-minded and broad-minded.
You know, like when you try to call the police when I touch you.
I don't call the police. I just pretend, because it makes you touch me a little harder.
Oh, God.
Excellence in broadcasting.
It's too bad you got to have some form of intelligence to listen to the Opie and Anthony Show. Let's be honest, you probably didn't graduate high school. You probably have 3 or 4 kids, and you're probably a grandma at the age of 32. So I guess we have to give that much to you.
Tanya, I'd like to apologize.
Why would you apologize? Go away.
Opie.
Jail is better than this misery I'm in.
Anthony.
I just think Nazi, and I can't get it out of my head.
Jim Norton.
Hilarious! Hilarious, people!
You guys ready to laugh?
It's got to be the greatest thing ever.
I'd sooner have a water drinking contest. It's the Opie and Anthony Show.
But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
Well, I guess we don't have to give out the phone number.
9.
Wow. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Opie and Anthony Show. The One virus spreading across America. Who do you want to wake up this morning, Anthony?
Well, we usually wake up a group of people. Everybody thinks it's just the same people that listen every morning, just regular Joe that goes off to work or something. But we've woken up in the past, too. Serial killers. What else have we woken up in the past?
Amputees.
Amputees. We got a lot of those. That was cool.
Horny housewives.
Horny housewives. Stepfathers.
And stepdaughters.
And stepdaughters. Today, wake up, white people. Wake up, white people.
It's time to wake up the white people.
Yeah. That's who we're waking up today.
And if you're going to work today, why don't you leave your white guilt at home for once?
Could you please?
One day, just leave it in the drawer.
I'm so tired of looking at it and hearing it. The guilt. I heard some of the most ludicrous crap I've ever heard broadcast on various news shows last night.
MSNBC, CNN.
Yep. All these talking heads
Fox
getting
News
on
Channel.
there and talking about this Amish situation and saying things that I was yelling at the television. I was yelling at the television. It was ridiculous. One gentleman was actually saying that this brought up the evils of slavery. And I'm like, you know, this situation brings up a lot of things. A lot of discussion has come up over it, and a lot of accusations and accusations of hypocrisy, and just a lot of discussion. But did Imus bring up something that's 200 and something years old?
No,
Did he?
that's a bit of guilt coming from the other side.
I heard more moronic statements last night on the news, because now they're just dragging everybody into
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Anyone that wants to talk about this is coming up and dragging it in. Every 3rd, 4th, 5th-rate reverend is being dropped in a seat on a news program to open their yap and have just garbage spill out.
Were you watching the TV last night going, you know, I got to finally admit it. I don't live in the same country as these people.
Yeah.
And what I mean by these people, I'm talking black and white, because I saw a lot of white people on the news going, you really feel that way? What?
Mm-hmm.
Where am I living? Is there anywhere else I can live?
No.
Where people think kind of like I do? Where you should be able to say whatever the hell you want on the radio. You should be able to put out whatever rap song you want. Anything should go.
Well, here's something I heard.
Why do we have to protect everybody? Why do we all have to be equal in everyone's eyes? And I'm not talking black and white. I'm talking just in general.
Not even protect people from physical harm. That's one thing. People should be protected from physical harm. Now we're in a state where you have to protect people from being hurt by words. Do you remember that Jerky Boys bit? It makes me laugh now thinking about it, where Saul Rosenberg was like he wanted to sue because he was injured.
Yeah.
I was very injured.
Sure.
And the lawyer asked him, he goes, well, what did he hurt you physically? And he goes, no, he hurt me with his words. And it was a scream. It was hysterical because it was so ridiculous to think that some guy's calling a lawyer because his boss hurt him with his words.
Yeah.
He hurt me with his words. And we are now living where that is a viable case that people can bring up against you, is that you hurt them with your words.
With stupid words. Are you kidding me?
Oh. Sticks and stones will break your bones, but names can get you thrown off the air and sued and made look ridiculous.
Well, we got this guy Zev Shafitz. He wrote a little column today in the New York Post.
Zev!
There's so many places we want to go today, but because you brought that up, Ann, let me just read like the first paragraph or so. Schoolyard thug. Everyone knows an Imus.
An Imus? What, a crotchety old guy?
It's been a rotten week for Don Imus. On Monday, he was suspended from his radio show. On Tuesday, Procter & Gamble, blah, blah, blah. Yesterday, blah, blah, blah. Also will cancel their advertising. Barack Obama called for him to be fired, and then he got canned by MSNBC, and it's only Thursday. By the way, you will not hear me scream at Obama anymore on this radio show.
I think Obama's going to lose a lot.
Yeah, I cannot support any person for president that doesn't believe in freedom of speech and doesn't accept apologies and thinks it's okay for someone to lose a 40-year broadcasting career over a dumb throwaway line.
Throwaway, that's what it's called in the biz.
Where there was no hate behind it. I can't support a guy like that. Just
pure
and if the rest of the candidates support this as well, then guess what? I will not vote once again. Until I see a candidate that I really, really could get behind. But you're not going to hear me shouting Obama anymore, that's for sure. It couldn't happen to a more deserving victim, he continues, and we all owe the Reverend Al Sharpton some thanks.
Do we?
I know Don Imus, and so do you. Everybody went to school with him. There's an Imus in every class, a weird, nasty kid with a smart mouth. By the way, as I was reading this, I was thinking this radio show, so...
Oh, I know.
Just plug in the names where you think they're appropriate.
Right.
From your favorite radio show.
Do you hear this faggot, though, and working out his little childhood?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I know. Please.
Can
you
I
see
tell
his
you
picture, too?
No.
His picture looks like a guy that probably got bullied around in school a lot.
Can I tell you something? I got bullied around in school. Know what I did about it?
You didn't.
I made sure that I got smarter. I made sure that I worked on comebacks and how to protect myself. I lifted weights until I couldn't move. That's what I did. I didn't need to go run to some kind of
Go to school prison?
I didn't need to go to some leader and go, please protect me.
Help me. They're hurting me with their words.
I protect myself. I don't need somebody, and God, I hope the black people are listening today. You don't need a black leader to protect you. You can do it yourselves.
Let me bring this up also quickly. The majority of black people don't give a crap about this issue.
I kind of believe that too.
I really do. It's a very small minority of noisemakers, of squeaky wheels, of self-promoting douchebags that have one agenda: propelling themselves into the media's forefront. They want to be in front of the cameras and the microphones, and that's who's making a big stink about this. When they bring up, the reason Imus got fired from MSNBC is public outrage. No, it's not public outrage. Most people don't care. Most black people are, honestly, all jokes aside that we make here, they're going to work, they're living their lives, they're doing what they do. There's this small minority that make a lot of noise and can make a lot of trouble for people. Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, who, by the way, both of them just talk about yelling at my TV. When Jesse Jackson got on MSNBC last night, and I couldn't understand a word he was saying, but the words I did understand were pissing me off. And just the fact that they were saying, well, this is just the beginning. Now it's what they call a witch hunt.
Yeah.
You think every radio show out there. I love these dopes that are sitting there saying this is a great thing. You're in broadcasting and you're saying this is fantastic because one of these days you're going to say something that someone doesn't like.
And you're going to have no hate behind it.
No.
You're making up your radio show as you go along.
And you're going to say
4 or 5 hours, and there's going to be a throwaway line, and you go, oh, man, that kind of sucks. I wish I didn't say that. Yeah. But it's going to be too late. And an apology is not going to be accepted.
Apologies don't work anymore?
No, because you got to be dragged down to a very low level to make other people feel really, really good about themselves.
It. You got to be the whipping boy. So, that's what Imus is right now.
So, Zev! There's an Imus in every class, a weird, nasty kid with a smart mouth and an instinct for the emotional jugular. If you stutter, he can imitate it. Wear a new suit to the dance, and he'll make sure everyone knows your mom bought it on sale at JCPenney.
What he means is a funny guy.
A funny guy. The guy that and meanwhile, when he says that, everyone's laughing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone's laughing at you.
Yeah.
Because you were the one that your mommy bought a JCPenney suit.
Zev is this little fat-faced douche that people would probably pick on, and a funny guy like Imus would smash him verbally.
And he's just jealous he was never that guy.
The funny guy.
Yeah.
The guys like Imus were the ones that were quick-witted and got the girls, and fat douchebags like that were left sitting in the corner being made fun of.
Got bad skin? Walk with a limp? Afraid of heights? Imus has a nickname just for you.
As he should.
Yeah.
Right. You're with a bunch of kids in school. Yeah. They're going to make fun of you.
That was the fun when
live with it. It builds character, you ass.
Exactly.
You call someone with all three of those things a limping, bad-faced basement dweller. No offense to anybody in the community.
Right. Basement-dwelling community.
Just like he had for the members of the Rutgers women's basketball team. The playground Imus always has a sidekick, a big dummy who laughs at his insults and watches his back. The radio Imus has Bernard McGurk, an on-air producer.
McJerk, I like to call him McJerk.
And producers in quotations. No, he is a producer.
Yeah,
Zev.
What is Zev questioning? He really is a producer.
He really is a producer, Zev.
Zev's an idiot.
Maybe you don't think his tactics are producer-worthy, but he actually is the producer of the Imus radio show. Usually his job is to repeat whatever Imus says, but last week he ventured a thought of his own. That some rough girls from Rutgers, he said, man, they got tattoos. In the world of Don Imus gets the last word. That's some nappy-headed hoes here, he said. Of course, Imus has made a career of ugly slurs, but this one rubbed Al Sharpton the wrong way, and he raised a mighty howl for Imus's head. And then it goes on and 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 on.
Yeah, he goes off about more of his angst that he has from when he was beat up in the schoolyard.
Mm-hmm. I can't tell you how much I hate Zev.
Zev's an idiot.
Zev really is an idiot.
And to praise Reverend Al Sharpton is just insanity. This guy has made a career out of lying, out of supporting people based solely on race, whether they're right or wrong. I don't care. Why is this Tawana Brawley thing brushed under the carpet with him? Why is it an issue that if brought up in front of Reverend Al, he'll blow it off, he'll brush that aside like it was ancient history and shouldn't ever be brought up? The guy lied through his teeth. He supported a cause that was completely unjust. He's a liar. And now he's the second coming for black people?
And he accused Stephen Pagonis, I believe, one of the young prosecutors, of being involved in it and said he could sue us. That was his response. He could sue us.
Yeah. Well, Reverend Al is known for being sued and never paying off on these lawsuits. He just goes about his way. How he makes his money, I don't know. Has anyone ever looked into Reverend Al and how he gets his money? I think it was looked into once when there was a grainy black and white video in a hotel room.
And a charity that there was allegedly misappropriation.
An alleged misappropriation at some charities.
And this guy's leading the charge.
Dude, he's the hero.
On my couch going, this is insane.
People are patting him on the back, not realizing this guy is just a self-serving douche.
Him and Jesse Jackson.
Jesse Jackson's another one.
Black people,
Mr. Hymietown, that whenever people are bringing that up these days because of all this, he'll brush that aside like it never happened and change the subject immediately. And we have a little audio of Jesse Jackson talking about this.
The Duke lacrosse team.
The Duke lacrosse team, and that woman that accused these young white men of raping her. And that turned out to be a lie. And Jesse Jackson supported this woman based on nothing but her race and the race of the men that were accused of sexually abusing her. That's it. Because there were no facts, there was no evidence, there was nothing. And this guy jumped on that bandwagon based on nothing but race.
And Jesse certainly helped ruin these guys' lives.
Yeah.
So where's the accountability for that?
Because
where's the accountability for that?
The prosecution and everyone else felt the pressure from these black groups led by people like Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson who do nothing but base it completely on race and feel the pressure, so they have to make a case against these guys for fear of letting them off during a grand jury hearing and then having your city explode. That's what the problem is. If there was a little more credibility to your causes, people might get behind you more. When you actually have a cause, but when you're aligned with the Tawana Brawley case and attorneys, fake lying attorneys like Mason and Maddox that were disbarred, when you're caught supporting people on nothing more than their race, you have no credibility. None with me, that's for sure, and none with a lot of other white people. You'd get a lot more. They're getting disillusioned because they're getting these white guilt, self-hating white people that are backing a lot of these black talking heads like Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson. That is not the majority of white people. I'll tell you what this is doing. This is dividing whites and blacks even more. The average Joe, that's the people I talk to. I talk to a lot of people on a daily basis. And what I see is a bigger divide being made because of stuff like this. Imus went out of his way to make sure, look, he's saying, I screwed up. All right? Give him credit for that. I apologize. I want to meet with these people. I want to do everything. What more could this guy have done to save his job after making a split-second error on his radio show? That comment was made in nothing but jest, in comedy. Whether you think it's comedy or not, his intent was comedy. And intent is everything in this case. It was not hate speech. It wasn't put out there to be hateful. He had nothing personal against these girls on the team. Yet he is being hung out to dry
by guys
that
we had to forgive.
By guys that were forgiven for some reason.
Right.
For lying and for being separatists, for being racist, and supporting people based solely on the color of their skin, regardless of their innocence or guilt.
I got the clip from Hannity and Combs. An amazing clip. Sean Hannity pulled out a clip from a year ago of Jesse Jackson.
Oh, he just showed this?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yeah, Hannity was great last night.
Good job,
and honestly,
Sean.
Combs was pretty good last night as well.
Was he there?
Yeah, he was there. He was actually pretty vocal last night. He was terrific as well.
Was he?
Oh, yeah.
Did Sean keep looking like, could you have this man it's he's on my show. Right.
Do I have a co-host?
Have him removed. Oh, it's you. Right.
Did they blow the dust off of his volume knob on his microphone last night and actually let him talk?
Yeah, the engineer's like, oh, my God, I think he's going to talk tonight. I don't even know how to turn up this guy's volume. Wait a minute.
He's got like 1950s radio equipment in front of him. You hear, boo!
The lighting guy
before he talks.
The lighting guy in the studio is like, oh, my God, I think I got to turn on another spotlight tonight. What? What? Anyway, because the Duke lacrosse thing, it's perfect that these two stories collided yesterday because it just shows the hypocrisy And Sean
But
Hannity,
you got to point out the hypocrisy yourself, though, because it won't be pointed out in the media.
No,
you
of
won't
course
see
not.
any
Of course
big
not.
leadership come forward to point out this hypocrisy.
Of course not.
You got to point it out yourself.
yeah, but
One thing that the cover of the Post has the Duke liar, and it's her stupid,
Big
lying
mugshot.
whore face. And in the Daily News, they said that they're not going to press charges. The prosecutors are probably not going to go after her. It says AG won't go after troubled rape accuser.
Troubled. She's troubled.
She's a troubled girl.
yeah, well,
She's a lying whore, is what she is.
She's a troubled girl.
A lying whore.
are we allowed to say hoe in this case?
No.
Or are we going to get fired?
No, you get fired.
Are we going to get fired for talking about...
And don't make it the phrase that pays.
Oh, God, we'll get into that
We'll
as
get
well.
into that a little
We
later.
have a show. We have a doozy of a show today. So anyway, let me get this clip in. So Sean Hannity pulls out a clip, and listen to me very carefully. The clip you're about to hear is a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
A year ago, Jesse Jackson on Hannity and Combs talking about the Duke lacrosse case.
Based on nothing but the color of the accuser's skin and the color of the accused skin, because at this point there was no evidence that was available yet, and obviously there was no evidence because she was lying. These guys were completely vindicated. But a year ago, when this first really started getting fired up, no evidence. Jesse Jackson comes to her defense and offers her a scholarship.
Yeah.
This idiot, based on what? If not the facts, what was he basing this on? The fact that she's black and they were white, period. Period.
And that's the setup. So this clip, remember, is a year ago when this whole case broke, okay?
Don't strip scholarship. But in America, that's a nice line. In America, you're innocent until proven guilty. My question to you is very specific. You've offered her the scholarship. What if it turns out this woman is lying about these boys? Do you take back that scholarship offer?
Well, I really do not, because the evidence so far by the prosecutor is that she, in fact, was harmed that night.
You can't cite one specific bit of evidence that indicts these boys that she pointed out. You can't give this audience one piece of evidence because there is none. Give us one piece of evidence.
There you go. There's your leader. There you go.
There he is.
There you go.
So, Jesse.
There you go.
By the way, Jesse, you have to now give this lying whore a scholarship. He said, if it turns out, and boy, that Hannity, goddamn.
God bless
some foresight there. He said, if she's lying, and in fact is lying about this, will you still give her the scholarship? And he said yes. He said yes. I want to see Jesse Jackson give this dumb, lying whore a scholarship.
There you go.
Fork it over.
It's time to hire some new black leaders.
You guys, man, you black
There you
people,
go.
you
There's
really
your
need
leader.
new leaders.
There's your leader.
You need new leaders because these two are jokes.
And black people don't realize like how other black people reacted. It was like I was talking to Keith last night, and he was like, Sharpton and those guys, man. Most black people don't care.
They don't.
That's what we're hearing day after day.
They don't.
I'm like, did you hear what Snoop came out and said? And did you hear what Steve Harvey came out and said? Did you hear what Whoopi came out? All these high-profile black people did jump on the pylon, which is what it is. He looked and he's like, Snoop? People couldn't believe that guys like that were coming out and against him saying what he wanted to say.
Yeah.
By the way, Snoop just pled no contest to gun charges and drug charges, and he'll be not serving. He got a suspended sentence. A suspended sentence. He got a suspended sentence.
Why is
yet he's still free to do commercials. I mean, they love this guy.
Yeah.
They keep bringing, where is any leadership to say, what kind of image is he giving the children? Because it's always about the goddamn children. What kind of image is he putting across to the children that says, you can deal drugs, you can have drugs on you, you can have illegal weapons on you, and be convicted of it? Bo, plead no contest. You're pretty much saying, yeah, I did this.
Where's the
and yet have a very successful career.
Where's the advertising boycott there?
Where's the boycott?
Where's the boycott on
Snoop Dogg? You won't see it. Where are the black leaders coming forward saying this is bad for our young black men to see this guy coming up in the world and making a huge success of himself, getting offers for commercials, television, mainstream products have Snoop endorsing them. AOL has Snoop Dogg on the commercials. And meanwhile, you don't see that as being harmful to the black youth that's being raised, that this is not the guy that you want to see as a leader, as some kind of a role model. It's just the hypocrisy is astounding.
And one throwaway line from a, quote, shock jock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's the problem. Are you kidding me? Mm-hmm. The hypocrisy is just
no one also no one noticed this. It was in USA Today on Tuesday.
Yeah,
they did criminals in the NFL, and there were 41 people in the NFL that were arrested. 41 people in the NFL, 39 of which were black. 39 out of 41. And, you know, these are, again, people that should be looked up to, that get endorsement deals, and where's the outrage that you know, these people, where's the people to smack them in the face and go, don't you realize that our young black men are looking up to you and you're blowing it? It makes no sense.
It's white people. White people do not hold blacks to the same standards.
No.
People at can we come back? Can we at least just talk about
MSNBC? No problem. We're heading in that direction.
Yeah, we got to take a break, I guess.
Yeah, which is beyond amazing when we tell you what cowards MSNBC is.
Mm-hmm.
They have every right. Whatever. We'll get into that after the break. And then we got audio of the founder of BET. I almost threw a brick through my TV last night. I'm not even kidding. I was so outraged. Oh, by the way, it wouldn't be the first time I broke stuff around my own house. You know, people think I do stuff on the show for show. No, I do it in my my private life as well. I get so outraged. And Keith Olbermann. We got so much to talk about.
Yeah,
goody two shoes, Keith Olbermann. Go screw.
It was fun hearing Ope drop certain words in the, I never heard that in the office before. I was so happy. Welcome aboard, Ope.
Welcome aboard.
Well, here's the deal. I mean, I've said it on this program. I truly believe every single person, I don't care what color you are, you're a bit hypocritical and you're a bit racist. I don't care who you are. It just depends how racist you actually are.
Mm-hmm.
And yesterday, after all this coverage and stuff, I don't know. I think I might have moved up a spot.
That's what I said.
I might have moved up just a little bit. I got to be honest with you.
It's dividing. This isn't bringing together. I've seen people talk about this, how this is great. It's bringing black and white people together because they want to defend against hate speech and this. No, it's really the majority of the people. It's dividing.
Yeah.
It really is dividing white and black people.
Yeah. Well, we got to take a break. Listen, I want to play this going into break because we really try to be on top of everything. So here's the latest on Imus, and then we'll discuss after the break, okay? Just in case you don't know.
2 weeks is not enough. 2 weeks is not enough. 2 weeks is not enough. 2 weeks is not enough.
Hundreds of students and faculty members rallied at Rutgers University yesterday. They're not only calling for CBS to fire Imus, they also want a change in what radio hosts can and cannot say. One CBS board member says Imus abused his media powers.
The power of the media has to match responsibility with that power. I think that Don Imus, in this particular case, has abused his power, and there needs to be a consequence as a result.
MSNBC denies its decision to fire Imus has anything to do with the recent loss of advertisers.
Hear what everyone else is talking about. O&A Uncut and Live continuing the show on XM Satellite Radio starting at 9 a.m. Eastern. Visit xmradio.com to subscribe.
It's the Opie and Anthony Show. It's the Opie and Anthony Show on XM 202.
Opie and Anthony! Hey, good morning. It's the Opie and Anthony Show. The O&A virus spreading across America. Phone number is 1-866-313-FREE. So, yeah, the news people are waking up to today. Imus was fired from MSNBC.
The disgusting, revolting MSNBC.
What a bunch of cowards. What a bunch of douchebags. What a bunch of poo-has.
And people that can't see the big picture. That's for sure.
Let me tell you the thing right off the bat. MSNBC has every right to cancel the Imus show. Absolutely. But the way they did it, knowing that today and tomorrow, Mr. Imus is raising money for sick kids.
Yep.
Which he does every year.
Which he's been doing for 18 years. It's his radiothon, okay? Here's the deal. They could have waited till Monday. They could have even said something like, we might be doing, I don't know, however you do that.
Mm-hmm.
But they could have waited because by taking Imus off MSNBC, they have just pretty much made sure that the donations are going to be way, way down this year.
Yeah, donations are going to be down.
And sick kids are going to be suffering.
Sick kids are going to be suffering.
Because you're a bunch of cowards.
This isn't words. This isn't people being hurt by words. This is actually children now being affected, sick children physically being affected because finances won't be coming in because you took him off the air and couldn't wait 2 days during his radiothon. It's despicable that they would even think of doing that, to buckle under the pressure of a few self-serving news whores that you would then take Imus off the air during a charity event for children. What hurts more? People being called a name or children not getting funding for diseases?
Yeah.
You insensitive schmucks.
It's not like there's radiothons.
If I may use a Yiddish word.
Yeah, it's not like there's radiothons all over the radio dial and all over TV.
Yeah.
This is kind of a really important thing that is done every year.
Mm-hmm.
And they basically didn't even want to acknowledge that, like, whatever. It's just sick kids anyway. Who gives a crap, right?
Do we have the number if you want to donate?
Yeah, of course.
That'll help out the cause and Imus and stuff.
Yeah, please call the number if you have a few extra bucks laying around. And
make a little donation.
And say, this is for Imus and this is, and I'm an Opie and Anthony fan. Let's make sure they know where it's coming from. It's the WFAN Radiothon to benefit the Imus Ranch, the Tomorrow's Children's Fund, and the CJ Foundation for SIDS. Donations online at WFAN.com. Just click the Radiothon banner. It's right there for everybody. Or you could call 877-877-6464. Very easy number to remember. 877-877-6464. You could use Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover Card. They really need the help because MSNBC just, I guess I see it this way. They don't believe in sick kids.
They're great causes, and this is something Imus has done for years. This is the kind of guy he is. With the comedy that he does on the air, it's cutting. He has goofed on religion and race and sexuality and everything over the years. That's just what he does, and it's all been done in comedy. But this is the guy he is. He's a very charitable man, and he's doing this radiothon like he does every year. And for MSNBC to pull him on the day he is to do this radiothon is despicable.
They're pigs.
Just despicable. And we want to help out because they're going to lose donations because he's not on MSNBC. So if our listeners can help out, call that number, go to the website, and donate some money.
WFAN.com and the phone number 877-877-6464. And we reach a lot of people. We have a voice as well. And I plead to our listeners, and some people will write about this and laugh and go, Opie and Anthony are attempting a boycott. They only talk to just a bunch of losers. No, we don't. We know for a fact we don't. We know for a fact we talk to a bunch of very influential people out there. And
the losers are just the ones that show up at the live appearances.
Yeah, well, that's true. We got to work on that. I highly recommend that you boycott MSNBC. Don't give them the time. Don't give them the time whatsoever. Bunch of cowards.
Yeah.
Their timing stinks.
Good work. I mean, if you wanted to, it's their decision if they wanted to get rid of him. But your timing, man. I mean, you couldn't wait till his suspension started, or even he's suspended. So you wait the 2 weeks, and then you test the waters then, and see if things have blown over. But they're so holier than thou. The president of NBC News Division came out and just babbled this white guilt about how internally a lot of people at NBC were clamoring for Imus's firing from MSNBC.
Including Keith Olbermann. He couldn't wait to tell his audience that he was behind this and needed to say something, but they told him, just don't say anything until we make our decision.
And Al Roker, his name was brought up. This guy finally makes a stand, and it's one of the easiest non-controversial stands to make. It's ridiculous that this guy is giving any credibility.
All of a sudden, Al, you want to be poignant? What's the matter? A whole career of hanging around with just goody two-shoe white people, standing there with an umbrella. What's the matter? That wasn't racially satisfying for you? Now you want to take a stand?
By the way,
about dressing up in a funny little costume and doing a little dance in front of your co-hosts finally got to you?
Here's a
jackass.
Stapled belly.
Here's Steve Kappas on Keith Olbermann's show last night on MSNBC.
Those voices within NBC were louder than anything else, and we place a tremendous value on the integrity of this organization. At the end of the day, we have nothing but our reputation.
Well, then you got nothing.
Sacrifice that, then what have you gained? What's the purpose of going on if you've sacrificed your reputation along the way? This is not a financial decision. The good financial decision would have been to leave him on.
Then cough up the money for the sick kids.
Well. You know that. You see the ratings reports as well as I do. And this program has been doing very well from a business point of view. But when I sit across from employees of my own division, and they say to me, Steve, this could have been my daughter.
Oh,
how can I ignore that?
What? How could you ignore it? By looking at it in the spirit it was given. He wasn't insulting any individual. He wasn't. It was a throwaway line based in comedy. You jackass!
People are losing their minds.
Dude, I've heard more.
They're absolutely losing their minds.
Sister, this could have been sisters and mothers and grandmothers.
Hey, when he said this could have been my daughter, how do I respond to that? How about, well, tell that bitch to study and stop throwing a ball for a hoop, and it won't be your daughter. Stupid.
By the way, that's a joke from Jim Norton.
Yes.
Now we got to make sure everyone is perfectly clear that we're trying to make jokes.
Ugh.
Oh, please.
I don't need someone to go on a news show and go, I didn't even know they were comedians. I didn't know.
Yeah, because I have heard some people say that the reason Imus should be fired is because he made that statement and because his show has so many politicians on it that it is looked at as a news-type show, and that's why he should be fired. If it was a comedy show, it wouldn't have the impact. So what's going to happen when they come to attack us? What's going to be their excuse? Because this is a pure comedy show.
Right.
Whether you think it's comedy or not. Some days we leave thinking it's not comedy.
And I was walking around my abode
drivel
yesterday night going, I have no doubt in my mind we're next. Who knows when? It could be a month from now. It could be a year from now. It could be tomorrow. But I have no doubt.
Maybe not next in line. There'll be maybe a couple more people. But we're in line.
We're not stupid enough to do the phrase that pays. We'll get into that story in a little while. But
that was pretty silly.
But the integrity, he talks about the integrity of the news department.
And if we don't have that at the end of the day, what do we have?
Well, what clip do you want to play that shows the integrity of NBC News?
Let's showcase some of the integrity of NBC News.
Do you want the news clip where they report on Diet Coke and Mentos?
All right, let's do that.
Do you want Borat visiting the Today Show? Do you want an interview where they interview the best jugglers in the world?
Let's get some of that integrity.
Or do you want the report on a fan that made Star Trek episodes? Or do you want just a cute piece on goofy Halloween costumes? There's your integrity.
I like goofy Halloween costumes. Unfortunately, one of the best ones about integrity was a visual thing that we watched the video of inside. It was during a flood in Jersey, and one of the newswomen was in a canoe, and she's paddling going, I'm in the streets in a canoe because of the flooding, and as she's paddling...
This was NBC, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I remember
as she's paddling, two guys with galoshes on go stomping across in front of her shot in what amounted to 6 inches of water.
Yeah.
She was in 6 inches of water. But to over-dramatize this flood, because this was on the tail of Katrina, so they wanted to kind of localize the story and make it like Jersey was flooding. So she got in a canoe and did this report. There's your integrity. You got no water underneath your stupid canoe, and men are walking in the puddle you're in. You're in a puddle.
Do we have that on audio? At least
the audio doesn't really.
Yeah, we look. I'm looking at it. It's on YouTube.
It is hysterical. Here it is.
Michelle, they're gonna. You want our listeners to spell?
Look at that.
There it is.
That
was a live shot too. There's your integrity. There's your integrity.
Sensationalism at its best. She wanted the shot to look at her and people to go, "Oh my God, she needs a boat."
We could spend all morning showing you their integrity in the news department.
At the end of the day, if you don't have integrity, what do you have? Some bitch in 6 inches of water in a canoe, stupid,
with 2 guys in galoshes stomping in front of her.
Oh, I hope they worked for CBS.
There's your integrity. So shut up about your integrity.
Integrity, my ass.
And we got. I don't know, a bunch of
but integrity is
examples.
Important. Why would you want to leave them on for 2 days and help the sick children with cancer?
Yeah.
Better Al Roker can feel like he finally made a difference racially, because I guess he's had to look in the mirror all these years and realize, I'm a fat man with an umbrella.
Yeah.
I'm a millionaire and I'm doing nothing to help other black people.
Yeah.
And a little announcement to the white columnists out there. Don't be so scared. Write about it.
No, they're all running scared. Everyone is running scared that's in the public eye. You have got a situation brewing here where this is going to turn into a witch hunt. The word police, which right now is the black leadership, and I use that term loosely, and black extremists that follow these leaders. That is now the word police. But this will spread. Once other groups see that this works in the way it does, you'll see gay groups and Asians. Asians have already started like that, and Italians have kind of gone on the thing where they don't want to see any mafia things tied to it. But you can pretty much still do these things. You'll get some crap, but once they see now that they're drawing blood, we're not going to be able to discuss anything.
I just don't live in the same
on the radio.
I just don't. Last night I'm hearing it's not acceptable to say the B word,
I heard
F word,
more initials,
the N word.
I heard more initials on the air last night. More just letters being used in place of words than I ever have. It's an insane, twisted world. Country that we're living in this day and age.
Patrice O'Neal's chomping at the bit. We're going to get him on after the break. Also, once again, just a douche move by MSNBC. Yeah. They have every right to take Imus off. And like I said yesterday, I knew it was coming. It was so obvious.
I hope you predicted that one.
I beg.
You said by Friday.
Yeah.
But thinking that they might actually stick it out until after the radiothon.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, there's no doubt in my mind that MSNBC has to get rid of him because it is different over there because they are based, quote, and I use it in quotation, on telling us the news.
Mm-hmm.
You know, CBS Radio, it's we have a little more leeway because we're not like a serious news program, and that's what my thinking was. But then I'm thinking, all right, they'll let him finish out the week because he's got this radiothon he's been doing for 18 years.
No
one is a scumbag to the point where they'll yank a guy right before his radiothon where he's raising money for sick kids. Who's going to write about that tomorrow? Yeah. I'm going to be reading every single newspaper in America. Who's brave enough to write about that?
Come on,
and say how much of a dick move that is. By the way, I was talking to someone from Imus's camp last night late, Mark, and he goes, it's going to be really uncomfortable today. This is a fact. Imus is at MSNBC doing his radio show today.
He's got to do the show from that studio.
And he's doing his radiothon around these people that pretty much have acknowledged that they don't want anything to do with him.
Yeah.
He's over there right now. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? So anyway, once again, the Imus radiothon that he's been doing for 18 years, that I guess everyone decided they didn't want to acknowledge on the news last night.
Mm-hmm.
It benefits the Imus Ranch, the tomorrow's Children's Fund, and for the black people out there, he's helping sick black kids as well. Okay,
yeah,
this isn't a white thing. All right,
it's a race thing, dude.
I understand, but believe it or not, he's helping sick black kids. You know. Because you just think he's an outright racist. Radiothon to benefit the Imus Ranch, the Tomorrow's Children's Fund, and the CJ Foundation for SIDS. Donations online at WFAN.com. Just click the Radiothon banner, or you can give them a call. The number's very easy. Tell them Opie and Anthony sent you.
Yeah, we just want our listeners to just whatever you can give, really step up and donate to help out.
And if you know a little bit about us, we usually don't go down this road.
But we never do. We make fun of these things.
Yeah, but something has hit a nerve with us this week. And to the people like, oh, shut up and go back to doing your regular show. No, deal with it. Or go find something else to listen to. This hits very close to home.
Yeah.
Very close to home. And we will be next. We'll say something dumb. And now that they got a little more power, it'll be a lot easier to get us kicked off next.
I'll tell you one thing. No one's getting an apology. That's for sure. Once you see how little that does.
Yeah. I'm sure whatever.
No reason to apologize.
No one will be able to apologize. You said the same word 40 times in a row. It slipped.
That's the good thing. When we screw up, there's no apologizing for it.
No, we actually apologize to our God and mean it. Like, why did I say that?
Yeah. Not only did you say it 40 times in a row, you would have said it 100 times in a row, but we had to have armed guards pull you off the air.
The only people we have to apologize to are our families. They're like the scourge.
And I barely apologize to them.
You got to walk around like Hitler's son or something where it's like, all right, I know he did bad things.
Ted Hitler.
I'm just, I can't control who my dad was.
Yeah, he's a toaster repairman somewhere.
Just let me repair the toasters.
All right, here we go. So the phone number for the Radiothon, very easy. Tell them Opie and Anthony sent you, 877-877-6464, and they accept credit cards, okay? Patrice O'Neill after the break. Some amazing audio from the founder of BET. They try to go after him a little bit about the rap videos and stuff, and oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't want to commit to that whatsoever.
Why would he?
All right, it's Opie and Anthony.
It's the Opie and Anthony Show.
Good morning. You're checking out the Opie and Anthony Show. Let's say hi to Charles in Massachusetts. Charles, what's going on today?
How you doing?
All right, Charles.
I think it's disgusting what this reverend's doing. He's a disgrace to the black race, if you ask me. And this Obama, he's very unprofessional, running for a president. And he's going to try to jump on the damn bandwagon to try to get the black vote.
The problem with Obama is his lips are the color of someone who is frozen to death, and I don't trust any man who looks like he's frozen to death.
It's a lynching. This is supposed to be America. What do we live in Russia now where you can't say what you want?
Why did Obama have to jump on this one? I don't get that.
Now we can start smashing him this week and all the inconsistencies in his statements. There's frozen to death person. All right.
All right. Hey, Charles, just because it matters today, you're a black guy and you're saying Reverend Al's a disgrace to your race?
Of course he is.
All right. Thank you, Charles.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening. We got Patrice O'Neill on the phone.
Here he is, finally. Disgraces. How you doing, Patrice?
Hey, Patrice.
I'm doing lousy. I'm sad. I'm mad.
You really made me laugh on the phone yesterday when you called me. You were very funny yesterday.
I'm confused. You black folks, I'm so disappointed that we chomped that with this nappy-headed hoe. Black people, especially comics, we are the beneficiary of language. We own language right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost our reparation. We can say anything we want. And for this banana in the tailpipe where so many of us live contradictory lives to the fact that we're asking to get Don Imus, who I can care less about, to be fired. It's the fact that to say what you want to say. Here's the only way we're going to rescue our ownership of language, is if we finally come out and tell the truth that what we want is double standard. We want that. We want to be able to say what we want to say, and white people can't say what they want to say.
Right, at least just be honest.
At least be honest. Because how can Snoop say what he said?
Yep.
How?
Yeah, what was the statement by Snoop? He says, don't you dare bring rap lyrics into this discussion?
He tried to rationalize why we say ho different. And they don't understand the game. What he does, that's what disappoints me. He's been around the world. When you travel the world, man, you have a different perspective of life. And what I'm mad at is black people that know the game aren't teaching black people that don't know the game how to chill because we're fighting over nappy-headed hoe, and what it is, in 72 hours, it turned from Don Imus to hip-hop.
Yeah.
And I hear you guys rising up.
We're rising up, Patrice. You're right.
We have been riled up all week.
And we want to make it perfectly clear. Imus should be able to say nappy-headed hoe, and Black Art should put out whatever rap song they want. I don't care.
Thank you. That's why I said on Hannity and Combs, say what you want to say. Because I see what's going to happen.
Yep.
You think white people going to stand back and just have not and say, here, black people have a privilege that we don't?
Patrice is absolutely right, because now we're going to turn around the microscope on the black community and look at what black radio people are doing, what black rap artists are doing, and call you guys out on every single thing you say that seems racist.
And the only thing to protect that right now, because I see it coming, is just to stand on a platform and say, we want to say what you can't. So is it okay for Imus? Wait, is it okay for Jay-Z to say hoe and nigger and not Imus?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can't say it. Why? Because you're white.
And then what would we be able to say? We'd just be like, oh, okay.
And then you can't bring up the contradictions like, Jesse Jackson, you said oogly boogly last year. It's like, so what, I'm black.
Yeah, and the other thing, you know how twisted the white man works. We now know that nappy-headed hoe could get to you. Who knew? Who knew?
We're fighting over nappy-headed hoe. I get on Hannity and Combs. I might as well build my Uncle Tom cabin right down the street. You sell out, you puppet, you are Hannity's puppet, you effing dummy. I'm trying to help you, stupid. Black people own. I can talk about everybody. Chinese people, gay people, poor, rich, Indians, white people with impunity.
Yep.
And they want to take it away from me for nappy-headed hoe.
They're going to ruin it.
I am sacrificing. I am willing to sacrifice the Rutgers basketball team so I can keep saying hoe, nigger, cracker.
Oh, yeah.
He's right.
Hey, Whitey's going after Chris Rock, man. There you go. We're going after Chris Rock the next time he says something stupid.
Black people, will you stop? How can anybody who makes a living talking say this? Anybody who makes a living talking.
It kind of shows a weakness, too, in my opinion.
Steve Harvey, Whoopi Goldberg, Snoop.
How? Where is nappy-headed hoe? Please, just do me a favor. Black people, tell me the plan. Are we going after them one at a time? One down, 160 million to What is wrong with us?
I don't know. I was really confused last time. Like, is this is really going on around me?
God.
It's a setup. They couldn't. Oh, God.
And it's being led by Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton? Are you kidding me?
And it's like and I'm let me tell you, I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. It frightens me to say anything foul about either one of those dudes, because when somebody misplaces a plunger or 41 bullets in my chest, those dudes come running.
Yeah, they have actually been on the right side of a lot of cases. Obviously not in the Amadou Diallo thing, who was just being naughty and got what had coming to him, but in a lot of other cases.
By the way, that was a joke, because, people are monitoring us today. Yeah. Jimmy was attempting humor there. I hope it's okay still.
Norton, I'm outraged that you would say that.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying, man. I don't understand this, and it's just when you got chomping at the bit, when you guys say what you say, man, I appreciate you letting me call in, but I got so many emails from dummies, and I don't even know how to type, so I really was just answering back, shut up, because I don't know how to type the long, somebody wrote to me on MySpace, I hope your grandparents are resting in peace. You mother... Like, you dummy, don't you see that we own it? I own language. White people gotta figure out how to say things.
Yeah, gotta work our way around it.
Cracker, nigga.
Anyone that has heard you on our show knows you own language, that's for sure.
Patrice and other black comics can say whatever they want, and they don't get called out on it. But now it's going to have to be, one of these tit-for-tat things where...
Thank you, Anthony. Wait a minute. And one more thing.
Yeah.
White people don't say nigger. So listen to me, and what I mean by that is if they outlaw or make all these words that's being controversial now, and they say you can't say them, you're going to get fined, you're going to go to jail, whatever, who's going to suffer? White people don't say nappy-headed hoe ever.
We've never, something, I've never heard it said so much until the news had picked it up. We got a montage that is hysterical. Yeah. It gets funnier the longer it goes because I've never heard the nappy-headed hoe used so much by this many people in such a short amount of time.
Yeah, you guys gave us an easy way out. I mean, saying the N-word is like you have to reach really deep to get to that point. But to just have to say nappy now, that's easy.
That's an easy one.
Pretty much anyone can do that.
And they have been.
When Kramer said nigga, you go, okay, they got to do that, but still, I looked at it from the side of a comic, of a man, of the mistakes you could make, the fact that I'm a comic, and you just, as you're reaching for something to be funny, you could say something foul, and you go, oops, I tried, and now nappy-headed hoe is our outcry. I'm raising my black fist with a glove on it. So nappy-headed hoe, somebody is pretending that their feelings are hurt.
Yeah. You're gonna go down because of nappy-headed hoe?
I don't understand.
No, I don't either.
And now everybody's going, and I quote.
Yes.
Nappy-headed hoe.
Well, speaking of that, why don't we play the montage?
Listen to this.
We did this a couple days ago, but now we have a longer version of the montage.
More gets added every day.
Yeah, listen to this, Patrice.
That's some nappy-headed hoes there.
Nappy-headed hoe. Nappy-headed hose.
Nappy-headed hoes.
Nappy-headed hoes.
Nappy-headed hose. Nappy-headed hose.
Some nappy-headed hoes.
Nappy-headed hose.
Nappy-headed hoes.
Nappy-headed hose.
Nappy-headed hoes.
Nappy-headed hoes.
Nappy-headed hose. Nappy-headed hose.
Nappy-headed hoes.
Nappy-headed hose. Nappy-headed hose. Nappy-headed hose.
Nappy-headed hoes.
Nappy-headed hose.
Memphis Grizzly Bears.
Nappy-headed hose. Nappy-headed hose.
Nappy-headed hose.
Nappy-headed hose. Nappy-headed hose.
Nappy-headed horse.
Nappy-headed hose.
Nappy-headed hose.
Nappy-headed hose.
Nappy-headed hoe.
Nappy-headed hose.
Nappy-headed hoe.
Nappy-headed hoe.
Boner-nosed, beanie-wearing Jew boy.
We're losing our minds over words in America.
You probably could have gone long. That was longer than Apocalypse Now. Or whatever.
Yeah.
and dude, I'm so mad that the only way to save it, man. I'm just trying. Black people, listen. The only way we can save it is admit that we want a double standard.
Yeah.
And maybe we can make a deal with America that we can have language like this and you can't. Maybe that'll be reparations. Maybe.
Reparations with words.
In this whole racism thing is white guilt.
Yeah. I learned about white guilt from Patrice and Jimmy and Anthony. These guys have educated me on the whole white guilt thing. I see it now, clear as day.
I've only heard of it.
Patrice, could you imagine 50 years ago or so, a black man being told that in the future, in the year 2007, with all the racism you're getting now, this is 50 years ago, I'm talking fire hoses and German shepherds,
right?
Being told, do you know that in 50 years, the worst thing that could happen is some old white guy is going to sing nappy-headed hoe, and he is going to be called out on the carpet as if he whipped somebody and lynched somebody.
Right.
And it's going to be the same anger. There would be people going, oh, my God, are you kidding? That's in our future? Thank God. You mean we finally won?
We lost it all for
nappy-headed hoe.
People died. I was born in 1969, dude. And let me tell you, in 87, start being a man, I have been able to say what I want for 20 years. And I forget somebody sometimes, got hosed up, died, whatever, and we're getting soft and we're getting crazy.
Yeah.
If we think that language is our God-given right, we fought for something that we can control, and now it's on, and it's led by the pests, and it's led by John Gibson. What about Jay-Z? And then when they ask that, it's like, well, just say, what about him? He's black. He can have it.
At least Patrice is being honest.
Of course. You know what? And we got to make everyone understand here. We're all for everything. So I'll say it again.
Everybody say everything.
Absolutely. That's where the black people and the white people, we have to come together and understand that that's what this is all about. You should be able to sing your rap songs. We should be able to say whatever the hell we want on a radio show. And for the people out there that think the FCC is going to do something about nappy-headed hoe, oh boy, are you going to be disappointed.
I hope so.
Are you going to be disappointed?
I sure hope so.
I have all the confidence in the world that this is not an FCC issue.
Absolutely not.
Last time I read the regulations, this is not an FCC issue.
Yeah.
Well, fellas, thanks for letting me call in, because I know I'm a living contradiction, and I'm not telling anybody not to say nothing. You know, everybody say what you want to say. I'm bigger than words, man. I'm better than words. It's got to stop. But anyway, thanks for letting me
Patrice, what time you get into Vegas tomorrow?
Shut up.
All right, Patrice, thank you. Is he out of there?
Yes.
All right,
Patrice.
Let's not forget the O&A Traveling Virus Comedy Show. We fly tomorrow to Vegas. We're doing our radio show, and then we're flying. And then the first date of the O&A Traveling Virus Comedy Show happens Saturday at the, oh my Hard God, Rock, thank you, Hard Jimmy. Rock, Help the me out Joint. here.
The Joint.
Yeah. I don't know if tickets are available or not. I'm not sure. Try Ticketmaster.com. The problem with Vegas, a lot of people buy once they get to Vegas. If you're going to be in Vegas, just check and see if there's anything available for Saturday night. But we got 8 or 9 comedians, and then we're going to have the press conference by the pool in the early afternoon. Yes. We encourage the past to show up at the pool, and we're going to announce the rest of the tour dates. We're doing about 10 cities this summer, okay? So myself, Patrice O'Neill, Bobby Kelly, Frank Caliendo, Rogan is finally on one. We have a great lineup, man. Yeah, I'm not sure of the Vegas lineup. I know it's really, really strong, and you can get all the info on our website and go to Ticketmaster.com for tickets. Otto and George, Ralphie May. Yeah, and the Vegas station is helping us out big time. Big time. Oh, we're doing a 0.0, that Vegas station? Hey, you know what?
Oh, man, yeah.
Why don't we get into that next?
Yeah.
Because there's someone else we need to beat up today, and his name is Howard Stern.
We'll change gears a little bit.
Tom just rolled his eyes in his office. Lock the doors. Tom, stay away. We understand the tough position you're in, okay? But it's deserved today. We got to beat up Howard Stern. Hey, we'll do it next. Off the air, let's say racist things to each other. All right. We got a couple more minutes. Speaking of the nappy-headed hoe thing.
Jesus, Jimmy.
No, I just love Opie's reaction. Oh!
No, I'm just saying. Why do you have to ask?
Sure. I might as well say, all right, when we're off the air, let's breathe and use our hearts to pump blood through our veins.
Yeah? I see you trolling. You're trolling.
Let's say hi to Greg in Baltimore. Greg, what's up?
Greg?
Hey, what's up, man?
Good evening.
Hey, I called up and donated a little bit of money, and the guy, his name was Kevin, he wanted me to tell you guys thank you because he's an O&A fan, and he said that the last 5 out of the 7 callers that called said they called because they heard it on the Opie and Anthony show.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, if you're donating money to the Radiothon, I mean, I swear to God, it's not self-righteous. We just want to show Imus, that we're really, really helping him out and behind him. He's doing his Radiothon today and tomorrow. He usually raises about $3 million, and with MSNBC, taking his simulcast off hours before the Radiothon, it shows what kind of people they truly are. MSNBC. They could have waited till Monday. This is for sick kids with cancer. It's like, they're just vulture, coward scumbags. I can't think of any more adjectives. That's what they are. Yeah, and besides that, Imus had to go over there and see all those people to raise money for sick kids. It's just a scumbag move by MSNBC. No way around it. The number to donate, I think, is 877 877-6464. 877 is repeated. 877, is that correct?
Yeah.
877-877-6464.
And you can go to WFAN.com and click on the... Hold on, bro, please.
Sweetie, Angel, doll, we love you.
I've lost my voice. Help us out a little bit today.
Yes, sir.
You could also go to WFAN.com. There's a Radiothon banner there. It's basically helping sick kids. Imus has been doing this for 18 years, and MSNBC, just a scumbag move. He's not on TV, so his exposure is drastically reduced, and he could use the help in raising money. Just make sure you tell him Opie and Anthony. I'm donating for Opie and Anthony. All right. What else, Greg?
Yeah, I just want to say, man, I don't have a lot of money. I only donated $20, but I figure if
That's
everybody
fine.
helped out, chipped in $5-10, man, it would help out a lot.
Yeah, dude, if 10,000 people call in with $20, that's a lot of money, man.
Anything, really. It doesn't matter how little you give. It makes up for the fact that MSNBC yanked them. If it helps out a little bit.
Why were they scared to mention that in the papers today? I read all 3 New York papers.
Why didn't somebody write about that?
Because the Whitey journalists are just running scared.
They're all scared, petrified of writing something.
Why do we have to point out the obvious angles on all this stuff?
I don't know.
And no one else sees what a scumbag move it is to take him off the TV hours before he does a radiothon to raise money for sick kids?
Regardless if you think those words that he said hurt that basketball team, and now it started out the basketball team. Now apparently it's hurt every single black woman on the planet. That's what they've blown that into.
R. Kelly hasn't, but he has.
Yeah, but he has. So the words have hurt people. So your response is to hurt the ability for young sick children to maybe have a little bit of a better life through the money that Imus would raise if he had the exposure that he did with MSNBC.
Right. And by the way,
brilliant move.
Also, there's been some confusion in the press. Why didn't CBS start the suspension right away? The reason, because they knew about this radiothon.
Yeah, this is an important thing that he does for years. This isn't some kind of publicity stunt either that was planned because he did this and he's trying to make up. This is something he's done for years. It was in the planning already.
And look, we work for the same company, and I don't have much confidence in this, but I beg CBS to hang in there.
Yeah, just
hang in there,
stick
please.
It out. Stick it out with the guy. I mean, he's given you years of loyal service and brought in a lot of money for the company. And I think during the trade-off that corporations have to understand is when you're a loyal employee that has brought in tons of money for a company, the trade-off is sometimes you got to stand up for that person during the tough times. And this is one of those times where now you got to look back at what Imus has done and accomplished for the company and as a human being and say, all right, we're going to have to stick it out through this tough time just because of what he's done for our company for the past a few years that he's been on.
A lot of years. I don't have a lot of confidence.
I don't either because that makes too much goddamn sense.
I don't really see it working out well for Imus, but I'm pleading and hoping that CBS has the balls to try to hang in there.
What is MSNBC even showing? What are they showing this
Who
morning?
gives a crap? Boycott that crap.
Gotta be awful. Whatever.
Yeah. Keith Olbermann.
He's a douchebag.
Oh, we'll be paying attention to him in the coming months. Trust me on that.
They're doing an Imus off-the-air special. Like, why not just play him?
Are you kidding me? That's what they're running?
I just
Let me tell you why they're running. They're a bunch of scumbags because they talk about integrity and all.
Yeah.
Real integrity is showing anything but Imus. But what are you doing? You're using Imus to get bigger ratings for your news channel that blows, by the way.
Yeah.
Where's the integrity? Are you kidding me? You're taking advantage of him as well.
If you're going to put him on there anyway, why not put on his charity event?
Or if you're going to talk about integrity, the president of NBC was on last night talking about news integrity. That's not integrity.
No.
You make believe he doesn't exist at this point.
You're using him to get people to watch.
But it's all about Imus right now, and you talk about Imus on your channel, you're going to get the ratings up a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Screw integrity. You don't have integrity. By the way, before we go to a break, Nappy-Headed Ho got a DJ fired in Pennsylvania. Felt sorry for the guy at first, and then I'm like, you know what? You're just dumb. You're just stupid.
Yeah, you have to know who you work for.
This was a dopey move.
It really was a dopey move, and I was thinking, wow, oh God, and the guy, he's been doing his radio show for like 17 years.
White guy?
Oof, huh?
White guy?
Yeah, white guy. But I can't feel sorry for the guy. Here's the story.
Imus's comments haven't only just cost him. A DJ in Pennsylvania is out of a job for repeating what Imus said. Gary Smith used the phrase as an on-air gimmick called the phrase that pays. Viewers could get prizes for calling in and repeating what Imus said. Smith was quickly fired. He spent 17 years at that station.
Oh, 17 years.
Bye-bye.
He must have been doing pretty poorly. They probably couldn't wait to get rid of him and the overprices they were paying him.
Yeah. Let me just
phrase that. So he was doing the phrase that pays, so the people have to call up and give the phrase that pays, and he made that the phrase that pays.
It's a dumb radio bit that boring stations do.
Yeah.
Well, he would have got away with it if he said, "Hey, the phrase that pays today, we only want black people calling to say that phrase," and he would have skated.
You think?
Oh, absolutely. He would have skated.
Can we do a phrase that pays? But instead of the Imus thing, it's been talked about a little too much. We can go back to a comic at the Laugh Factory in Los Angeles. I want that.
I don't think that phrase that would be very good either, Jimmy. Yeah, that could get us in a little bit
phrase
of a
that
jam.
pays. You got to be very careful. There's a lot of focus on radio guys right now. There's a few bits that we wanted to do this week, and we went, you know what? We have promos and sweepers ready to go. They're in a safe right now.
There was a little show that went on a few days ago that was very fun.
Yeah, but I
won't get into any details.
Yeah, but
it's fun.
You know what? Even your pals Opie and Anthony, a little smarter in the year 2007. We're like,
because we want to work in 2008.
Yeah, let's put this in a safe for a while, and we'll get back to
tuck that away.
We'll get back to our shenanigans in a week or two.
Let's be honest. We want Imus to keep his job so the target stays on his back. Okay, we really don't care about him. We just don't want the target on our back.
Could they find a picture where he looked... And look at these scumbags. Imus off the air. Your calls, 1-888-MSNBC-USA. Instead of putting the phone number for his charity where sick kids are going to get money, these self-serving pigs, they put their own MSNBC number.
And that dopey president of the news department talking about integrity. That's integrity?
Yeah. Oh, and there's Reverend Al. Well, they got their Reverend Al.
These pigs, instead of putting the number for the charity.
Way to give Reverend Al some credibility, by the way. That's real smart.
Put him on civil rights activist Reverend Al Sharpton.
That's
the very latest.
Smart.
Oh, we want that recorded.
Yeah, we'll get some of that.
Get some Reverend Al. I can't get enough of this idiot.
I swear to God, we were going to try to do some other things on our show today, but this is what America is talking about.
It's a tidal wave.
But we will step aside for a little bit and beat up Howard next. He deserves it.
Yep.
Yeah, we're calling
another liar, by the way.
Yeah.
Another liar.
Yeah.
Him, Tim Sabian, liars.
And for the people that heard what we're about to play, don't worry, there's an update. That's why you should linger longer.
Linger longer.
We'll bring some people up to speed.
Waddle-doodle. No wonder they... What?
We'll bring everyone up to speed what happened a few days ago, and then we'll have the update.
Bone dry.
The update on that, okay?
Bone dry.
And maybe we'll hear from the Grease Man next. It's Opie and Anthony.
It's the Opie and Anthony Show.
I gotta tell you, it's days like this, I love being on the radio. It's the Opie and Anthony Show. The O&A virus spreading across America. America's losing their minds in general. What
does Colin say? Colin always goes, the whole damn world's going stark raving mad. And he's right. It's stark raving mad.
Stark raving mad.
Old man Colin and his old man lingo, and he's right.
We're revving up for our next burst of energy, but a couple things we want to get accomplished here. First of all, our pals at Letterman worked in a WoW reference last night.
Oh, yeah?
For Whip 'em Out Wednesday, yeah. And it had something to do with the Imus controversy. So this is what happened on Letterman last night.
Because have you seen the new show?
Who is the new?
Take a look at this. This was this morning on the Imus in the Morning Show.
It is now 10 minutes past the hour, and you're listening to the Morning Zoo with O-Dog and the Goat. Easy there, Goat. Coming up next, we'll be giving away tickets to the Fallujah Camel Show. We'll play another game of Dialing for Jews. And Kevin James will call in to discuss the final episode of The King of Queens. And don't forget, today is Whip 'em Out Wednesday. But first, here's a little song from my good friend Lou Bega. A little bit of
A wacky morning show.
There you go.
That's funny.
And by the way, people are loving the that montage we played before the break. and some people are a little confused why we're playing it. We just think it's amazing that now that the term is just being repeated over and over and over again.
Over and over again. It's such an offensive term that it's made this whole controversy from Imus saying it once in passing on his show. And, we just wanted to point out how many times it's being used by news people now. Just one after the other after the other. They're using the same words that Imus said, yet they don't use the N-word. They'll just say the N-word, even though it's part of a story. Yep. If someone gets in trouble for using it, they don't then use that word.
Absolutely.
And if this is so offensive, they shouldn't be saying this either.
Faggot they wouldn't say.
Right. Faggot is another derogatory term that they would never use. They would say a gay slur or a slur against gay people. They would never say that. Yet this, I heard it 1,000 times over the past 2 days.
Part of it is that these phonies love getting away with a little something. It's like when the Bobbitt case happened. They couldn't get enough of saying the word penis because they finally could justify saying the word penis.
Yeah.
And that's all this is. It's a bunch of nerds.
And they know it's an attention-getting thing. It's something that gets ratings. It's something that draws your ear and eyes to the TV. If you're just passing by and you hear it, you'll go, what did they just say? So they're kind of using this whole thing also as an excuse to get away with using what is supposed to be such an offensive term that it's on the verge of getting a man fired from a 40-year career, yet the newscasters, in the context of telling news, can just say it over and over and over and over and over, and it just doesn't stop all night long.
Kind of like the Janet Jackson thing. No one really saw it when it happened live.
How many people actually heard Imus say that as it happened live? Believe me. And how many people were offended by it when he said it live? How many people that are directly involved in this, the basketball team, Reverend Al, Jesse Jackson, actually heard it live?
None of them.
And then when it gets played over and over and over again, that's when people hear it. Like you said, the same thing with Janet Jackson.
Yeah. It was raised to a good point was raised about how Jesse Jackson was screaming that Janet Jackson had to pay the price for what she did. No, she didn't.
What'd she pay?
Nothing. She got her big rack shown all over the place. I think CBS is the ones who had to pay for that. She didn't pay a dime.
It actually boosted her album sales.
Of course
it helped her career. It destroyed others.
She didn't pay anything, and she made a decision to do that. And if you can't see the difference, a stupid South Park character face, Jesse Jackson, if you can't see the difference, I hate his eyes. He's a psychopath because he has all white around his eye. He's a kook. If you can't
Are you allowed to say that? I don't know.
Oh, kook.
Excuse me being a crazy man.
If you can't see the difference between Imus blurting out something in humor and her showing her breast to however many millions of people were watching, then you're an idiot.
Yeah. Hey, we're going to change gears slightly here, but this is definitely worth it. People heard this a couple days ago, and we do have an update, so hang in there if you have heard this. But, we've been talking about the Imus thing all week, and out of nowhere, someone is like, what's Howard Stern's take on this? And
who?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You notice how he hasn't been brought into this whatsoever.
He's not
a factor when it comes to radio at this time.
Yeah, it's so odd to see a huge radio story like this. And a bunch of radio personalities' names, including ours, are mentioned in the articles about things we've done in the past and stuff. And his name doesn't really pop up. It's so odd to see that. The only time his name popped up in the news was the Sanjaya story.
Yeah.
You know, that huge story that's just sweeping the nation this week?
Well, I blew off Idol last night. There's more important things going on in the world, like this Imus thing. I guess they kicked off the hot chick, Haley, with the really nice legs.
I couldn't tell
I didn't even know. Club Soda Kenny told me, because that's all his brain can handle. He can't handle, like, actually watching news shows.
This news scares me.
He picks me up this morning and goes, did you hear the news? And I'm like, oh boy, he's going to tell me that Imus is no longer on MSNBC. And I'm bracing for it. And he goes, they kicked off the hot chick on American Idol last night.
That is what a dummy does when there's a huge news story.
I swear to you, and everyone knows I love Kenny to death. That was the first thing he told me when he picked me up this morning.
They kicked off the hot chick. it's almost, you don't know whether to get angry at him or you want to just hug him.
Yeah, pat his dry hair.
Like, what did he say about if Imus has a suspension?
I don't know.
What was his suggestion?
Oh, he wanted Imus on our show, and I'm like, yeah, that'll happen.
Like
Imus, get him on your show.
There are some things that we don't even attempt to make happen because we know
it just ain't gonna happen.
Exactly.
It's not in Imus's best interest to do this program. We know that.
The Earth would have to start spinning the other way for that to even be a possibility.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so someone brought up, what does Howard think about this? So we got some audio. And, of course, Howard wants Imus, fired because it's all about Howard, and this would make him look good, I guess. I don't know.
It's all personal, too. It has nothing to do with the bigger picture.
He doesn't give a crap about anyone else except himself. Doesn't give a crap about other radio shows. Doesn't give a crap about freedom of speech when it comes right down to it. He doesn't care. He doesn't see this as a huge issue that could affect everybody in broadcasting.
He's said it before. He said, I care about free speech when it affects me.
Right, exactly.
He doesn't care about anyone else's, so...
So we get this clip from Howard's show, and we're assuming he's making a statement about Imus, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere he decides he's got to beat us up and tell his audience that we're doing horribly on regular radio to the point we got a 0.0 in Vegas. A 0.0 in Vegas.
That's not good.
And as we're playing this the other day, I'm sitting there like, do we have I'm actually thinking, oh my God, do we have a 0.0 in Vegas?
I know, he had me second guessing. I'm like, did we? What? When did that happen?
And some people said, why didn't you go after him harder? And I was thinking to myself, you know what? I'm going to go do some research. That's what I'm going to do.
Take a little look-see.
And we'll pull back a little bit, and then we'll do our research, and we'll get to the bottom of this, right? But then, you're about to hear it in this clip, too. Tim Sabian, who used to be a really good friend of the Opie and Anthony show. The Philly people know. He was in charge of WYSP. And, unfortunately, he decided to work for the enemy, even though, he said awful things about Howard to us. Didn't believe in him anymore. Thought his time is long over.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, I don't know, I guess he needed a paycheck. He
loved us. We were the future. We sat there in his office with him, blowing smoke.
Yeah, I even called him when he went over to the little doggy company and said, look, man, you got to do what you got to do. Congratulations. I took the high road. We were really close. I even slept at his house and stuff when I was in Philly.
Wow.
Because it was better than some of the crap hotels that the radio station wanted to put us in. And so Howard's, he brings up the Imus, then he brings up our ratings being a 0.0, and then he brings Tim into the situation. I'm like, there's no way, knowing Tim Sabian, that he's actually going to, get involved with this, knowing the reputation he has with his radio show.
Yeah.
But he jumps right on board.
Yep.
And then what you
got to drink the Kool-Aid when you're over there.
And then what you're going to hear, too, I'm just trying to set up this whole thing nicely. I said, you know what, screw that, and I called Tim up. On our radio show. So, I don't know exactly what I think this is the setup. All right, listen to this from the other day.
But like Opie and Anthony in Las Vegas just had a 0.0 rating. Okay? I'm only saying.
Remember, 0.0 in Vegas.
That's what he's saying.
Remember that. And remember and then there's the laughing, and let's make sure we make fun of Opie and Anthony.
Yeah,
well,
we suck, ha, ha, ha.
And remember, too, Howard has a 0.0 in every city in America when it comes to regular radio.
Yeah, he's not on.
He's not on. When we lose our regular radio audience, we still have a bigger audience than he does on his satellite radio show when we just broadcast on XM. All right, here we go.
Hey, I'm only telling you this.
Brought in to save the situation.
I'm only telling you this to make a point. They had you could not. David Lee Roth.
I've never heard of a rating like that.
It's almost impossible to have a 0.0. It's probably a first in radio.
It's what Blutarski's grade point average was in
I did that joke already.
0. The only other time I've ever heard that was as a joke. 0.0.
But getting back to my
there's not one person listening.
Yeah, I've heard of 0.1. You never get 0.0.
See how excited they are?
They are just having a laugh at our expense.
And one reason we don't respect Howard, he's been lying his entire career to make himself look better.
Mm-hmm.
And we had the balls to say, hey, you know what, this guy's full of crap. And it's gotten us in a lot of trouble over the years. It's going to get us into some new trouble because eventually we're going to have to work for the same company as him. Oh, boy, that's going to be a treat for everybody involved.
I'll bet you bygones will be bygones.
So,
no.
No. So then they continue crowing and talking about how we have a 0.0, how we have a 0.0 in more than one market, and then they drag Tim in. Tim, our old pal. Listen closely to Tim and him showing his true character. Tim Sabian, who used to be a friend of the show, this is going to be beyond disappointing when you hear this clip, to help Howard out here, and he says that we had a 0.0 in Chicago, which is not true. We took over for Rover, who had a 0.0, which is a horrendous place to start.
Consultant called me. I would never even know about this stuff.
Imus is looking good against a 0.0, Artie.
Which is unbelievable. In 2 markets, they had a 0.0. Tim, do you know? Man. So what I'm saying is the company is so desperate for people. But how in the world do you pull a 0.0? Where was the other market with a 0.0?
Chicago
was 0.0.
Right, there's nothing there.
And Vegas is 0.0.
And Vegas, and then they're flat everywhere else. I mean, there's like nothing.
But my point is
everywhere else. I mean, there's like nothing.
They're in a tough position. Okay, I'm being a gentleman. The fact
what position are they in?
I don't know. None. There's no competition. I don't even know. I don't know. I just so don't want to.
Robin.
I just so don't want to be.
This isn't about you.
This isn't about me.
Make it about you.
I'm making it about the corporate environment that allows Imus to stay on the air.
So there you go. We're back live here. So, crowing 0.0 in Chicago, 0.0 in Vegas, right? And they bring Tim in to back that up and say, and they're flat everywhere else. So I'm like, you know what? What is wrong with this guy that used to be our friend? So I called him up.
Yeah.
Going back to the tape here. Tim.
What are you up to?
Why did you suck Howard's yesterday when he was talking about the ratings?
He asked me a question. I told him a question.
Wait. Do we have a 0.0 in Chicago?
What do you have in Chicago?
What do you have?
It's way more than a 0.0, but you had to agree with Howard. Why?
We came in at a 0.0.
We came in with a 0.0
when Rover was there.
He called you in and you sat there and kissed his ass. What the is that about?
When he asked me a question, he goes, "What other station has not got ratings?" And I tell him the fact.
Tell him you don't know. We used to have a relationship. What the is wrong with you? You have to suck his now that you work for him? Back live.
Oh, boy. What a potty mouth.
Hey, we take it right to people. We're not going to sit here and allow someone to just openly lie about our success on regular radio. So the phone call continues. It gets really ugly here. Dude, you know damn well we don't have a 0.0 in Chicago. You flat out lied to help his point. It's bull. Have you been following the ratings in Chicago? Have you seen that the Cume is up every month for the last 4 months in a row? We're just under 100,000 in Cume, which is nothing to brag about, but it's way better than when we first started there.
What's the overall station?
I don't know what the overall station is. It's still in the toilet, but it's getting better every month. Look, I understand you work for him and you work for the competition, but you don't have to sit there and suck his with misinformation. We used to be friends. What's your deal, man? And then you're saying we're flat everywhere else? Is that true? Tell me that's true, Tim.
Show me where the stations are. Show me.
You don't follow the ratings. You've seen that we went up the last 2 months in New York. You've seen that we have gone up in Chicago. You saw the last trend in Boston. I know you, dude. We used to hang out. You follow radio like the back of your hand. The trend in Boston was way the up. Did you see the Buffalo numbers? You said flat across the board.
And in Boston did go up. You're absolutely.
So why couldn't you say that on a show? You're too scared you're going to lose your job? You have enough money to retire. Don't take his
Goodbye.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Oh, wow.
What?
Bravo, Opie. Holy
See, but we're cursing like sailors.
Oh, we curse a lot, don't we?
We get to do that after 9 o'clock, so.
We're potty mouths. I love it.
Yeah, but I'm not going to sit there and let Howard crow to all his listeners and just openly lie once again, by the way. His whole career has been made up of a lot of lies.
Yep. You know what that tape showed, by the way?
Huh.
How much credit you got to give us for the time we do over here and don't curse.
Oh, no kidding.
We curse every 2 seconds we talk.
I know. And people say, how do you do it? And I go home and go, I don't know.
I have no idea.
It's like all of a sudden on the walk to the other place, I just turn on a switch and go, all right, time to curse.
Isn't that amazing? Like we sit here for a few hours and we don't curse on the air. And then it's just an F-fest.
Here's your update, by the way, because a lot of people did hear that the other day.
Yep.
I wasn't going to sit there and go, wow, 0.0 in Vegas without doing my own research, okay? And Howard crowing and laughing, and they all had a big laugh.
Oh, what a chuckle they got over our 0.0.
I got a communique from the program director of the Vegas radio station. Of course, we're on KXTE. These are the actual numbers for Vegas. A little different than a 0.0, by the way. Just thought I would share some numbers with you since the boys are coming to town. They're very excited we're coming to town for the O&A Traveling Virus Comedy Show. We do it Saturday
are we.
At the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. The Joint tickets still available through Ticketmaster.com. Persons 12 plus, okay? Are we allowed to mention numbers? I think we are, right?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
I don't know.
In the latest trend, Howard claimed we had a 0.0. Well, actually, we went from a 1.7, which nothing to brag about, but it's not a 0.0, to a 2.3. We did that in 1 month.
Mm-hmm.
All right? That's a lot different than a 0.0.
0.0 or 2.3?
Right.
Just a tad different.
Right.
Jackasses.
And I already proved that we're not doing a 0.0 in Chicago, okay? Persons 18 to 34. Instead of a 0.0 like Howard likes to think we had and told his whole audience, it actually went from a 2.3, which is to a 3.7 in 1 month.
Yeah.
That's way up.
Where's the 0.0?
And then men 18 plus, we went from a 2.2 in Vegas to a 2.5 in 1 month.
Yeah.
Not even close to a 0.0. And looking better every day. And then he continues, we're seeing more and more WOW stickers showing up, and we're passing them out as often and as fast as we can. I hope this helps, and if you need anything else, please let me know. See you on Saturday. Chris Ripley Ewing, Program Director, KXTE. We base our show on actual facts. 0.0 my ass.
Yeah, well, do you think there'll be a rebuttal, a retraction on their show?
No, of course not.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
And Howard, you can send an email and thank us for actually giving you an audience today. There you go. People got to actually hear your voice.
Hear your
today.
voice again.
Dope. We'll break. We'll get back into the Imus thing. The BET audio is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't heard that.
Oh,
yet.
that guy.
Amazing.
Infuriating.
What is he, the president of BET?
He's the creator. He's the guy. I don't know. Is he still affiliated with
He's the
BET?
head guy in charge.
But he's the one that. What did he do? He invented it.
Mm-hmm. Hey, by the way, we just got a little shout out from Mr. Imus.
Did we?
I've been calling him Mr. Imus for the last few days.
Mr. Imus.
His name,
Mr. Imus.
What did he say? Please stop trying to help me.
Look, I'm looking for help from a lot of different people, but could Opie and Anthony stop with the support? You're really hurting me.
You don't want to be lumped in with us?
No.
Why not?
It's not helping my cause.
I know. Could he have found worse allies?
I know. We're like the worst.
All the reverends and politicians are against them.
Yeah.
And this douchey show and the Aryans are all for him.
That's great. The two front-running Democratic candidates have come out and pretty much asked for my head. But the church effers, they're the ones supporting me. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
You think you got a list? All right, here's all the people that aren't supporting you, and here's the very tiny list of people supporting you.
I want to thank the support from the Hitler family. Actually, got some nice letters of support from Mel Gibson and Michael Richards.
Yeah.
Chiming in with their support of the program.
This guy could do better than us supporting him.
Yeah, Stephen Pagon and his family, I'm sure, supporting you there, Mr. Imus.
I want to thank Whackbag.
Yeah, Whackbag supporting you.
Black people are all against him.
FBA.
The only black guy sticking up for him is Patrice, who has probably spent twice what he's earned on prostitutes in Brazil. That's the black guy supporting you.
There you go.
Filth bag from Jersey City.
Well, we got a little shout out just a few minutes ago.
Long Island Railroad gunman Colin Ferguson supporting me, and then eating his own feces with a spoon.
Bernie Getz.
Bernie Getz climbing on board.
Yeah, I guess it is pretty pathetic.
Yeah, well.
We kind of know.
He needs someone in his corner. We're there for you, Imus.
Yeah, and this is what he said a few moments ago.
Coming up on already $200,000.
Good grief.
Thanks to God bless all of you.
Yeah.
And my boys Opie and Anthony are wailing on it, too, so good for them.
You bet.
1-877-877-6464. You can use any credit card you have or go to WFAN.com and click on the Radiothon banner.
Yeah, please, if you're going to make a donation, tell them, hey, Opie and Anthony sent me, and here's some money to help some sick kids. All right, because MSNBC did just the biggest douche move ever.
Yeah.
They have every right in America, of course, to cancel his show. But to do it hours before he does his radiothon that he's been doing for 18 years just shows what they're really about over there.
Yeah.
They're just scumbags.
Symbolism over substance, I think that's called. It's a symbolic move to try to appease this pressure that's been going on, and yet by doing that, they're actually physically hurting children by not allowing more contributions to be made instead of hurting through words. They'd rather put the importance on words that hurt me. I was very injured by the words hurt me. So sacrifice a good cause because words hurt people.
Do you think Al Roker is donating some of the money maybe that he used to shove his food down his fat throat with?
Cut a check.
Yeah. Now that you're not eating maybe $1,500, $3,000 worth of food a week, why don't you cut a check and send some of that money since you were so influential in having him booted?
So once again, this is a great cause. He's been doing it for 18 years. And, MSNBC, they know Imus's true character. And even if they came out and said, look, we are going to cancel his show after he does his radiothon, they wouldn't have had a problem with Imus whatsoever. Yep. He would have went out with dignity, and he would have had the exposure of a TV audience to help his cause.
Yeah.
They know that. I don't have to say it. They know that.
Right.
So the phone number, again, if you want to donate to the radiothon to benefit the Imus Ranch, the Tomorrow's Children's Fund, and the CJ Foundation for SIDS, you go to WFAN.com. There's a radiothon banner, or call 877-877-6464.
They're saying we should probably maybe put the number on the pad data.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Over there at XM.
I don't have confidence in that, though. They don't know how to spell.
Oh, Jesus. Just get the number right.
Yeah, hopefully they'll figure it out and get it up on the pad data.
Yeah, put it over there.
All right. It's Opie and Anthony. Hear what everyone else is talking about. O&A, uncut and live, continuing the show on XM Satellite Radio, starting at 9 a.m. Eastern. Visit xmradio.com to subscribe.
It's the Opie and Anthony Show.
Hey, you're checking out the Opie and Anthony Show, and we thank you. Sanjay made it through again. I can't believe it.
Did you hear the big news?
The hot chick got kicked off American Idol. I'm outraged.
Oh, Kenny.
Yes, Kenny.
We got to have our priorities.
Yes.
Did you watch the Imus thing?
I love Don Imus, but let's, hot chicks.
All right.
Yeah, hot chicks.
Why did I bother? By the way, a lot of people calling. We're going to try to get to the phone calls. I mean, I've never seen more phone calls in my life doing a radio show.
Yeah, people are just fired up.
We'll try to get to you guys in a few minutes here.
I say I hate Sharpton so much, I wish Strom Thurmond was alive so I could vote for him. I love Strom Thurmond. Love him. He's dead.
All right, we got an Al Roker blog. We got the founder of BET. We got Jesse Jackson on Keith Olbermann. Olbermann mentions he was one of the employees who recommended Imus get fired. And then he asks Jesse if other DJs are now in trouble. Well, I'll tell you what, if we get in trouble, I'm not even going to acknowledge that Reverend Al Sharpton's a human being.
Oh, no.
I will not acknowledge that. I will not go on his dopey radio show.
No apologies.
Imus did what he thought he had to do, but wow.
It just goes to show you what an apology will get you.
Yeah,
it keeps the story going long enough for you to get into even more trouble. So screw it.
What do we got on Roker?
I don't know, but someone's got to buy Imus a brush. Just buy the man a brush.
Like he has time to comb his hair right now. That's why he wore the cowboy hat to hide that, but he's got to be the serious Imus now, so he's got to keep the cowboy hat off.
That's right. It looks like I comb my hair with a...
Baby.
All
right, what do we got on Al Roker?
Al Roker put out his little blog. I guess he's been taking some heat for what he's been saying or what he said. He's one of the insiders at NBC that the NBC News president was talking about that voiced his outrage at Don Imus and wanted him fired from MSNBC at least. He also wants him fired from CBS. So he wrote a blog about it. Everyone's blogging these days.
They all want to be heard. When you're on a meaningless morning show, you have to be heard somehow.
Yeah. When your opinion is tossed aside at your real job.
When your opinion means nothing on TV, you gotta get to a computer immediately.
When your two coworkers just look at you as the guy that should tell you if you should wear galoshes or not, and that's as far as your opinion should go.
Yeah, you're the non-threatening black guy at work. That's why they like you. Yeah. Because they're like, if they could only all be like Al, just fun and fat with an umbrella, we wouldn't have any problem.
That's what they're thinking.
I just imagine the conversations behind closed doors. Excuse me, boss, I want to do something a little more serious on the Today Show this morning. Got this idea for... Shut up, there's your umbrella.
Yeah.
I want to know if I need an umbrella today when I come to work.
We need you to dress like a Dalmatian today.
Right.
We're doing a tribute to firemen.
Well, we need you to dress like a fire hydrant. We're doing a tribute to dogs.
So he wrote his blog. And there's a blog.
He's cute, a little blog.
He has something to say, damn it.
Yeah.
He calls what Imus said ugly racism and sexism at its worst.
Ew.
Believe me, I could think of worse.
Yes. At least Al doesn't throw around cliches. You got to respect that.
Yeah.
He's a free thinker.
I think the C word, probably worse. And I think there's probably a few other words you could use as opposed to nappy that would be worse than that also. But that's his feeling. He says he's talking about his critics. My freedom of speech was questioned. Some of them complaints that came in fell in the same category. I was denying Don Imus his freedom of speech. Far from it. Don Imus has the right to say whatever he wants, however hateful, stupid, or uncaring. He does not have the right to say it on public airwaves or on the cable broadcast of a privately owned company.
How long have you been broadcasting, Al Roker?
He doesn't have the right to say certain things on what?
See, people a lot of times think that freedom of speech just means you're going to go to jail. Like, no one's some dummy on a message board is saying they're not removing his liberty, like as far as going to jail. How many times have the ACLU sued for free speech when dress codes? They're saying it's a freedom of speech violation to not let a kid wear what he wants. And I know there's a difference between a privately owned and public airwaves, but the principle of being able to say what you want, as long as you're not inciting some kind of violence or whatever, should remain the same.
Exactly. I don't think there should be a looming threat of you losing your livelihood based on what you say, especially if it's not done in a hateful, inciting a riot, the old gag, the fire in the movie theater gag. He's not doing any of that. But there is now this atmosphere that is going to really get worse in radio, where there is going to be a fear. You have freedom of speech. Say whatever you want. But let it be known that we're watching you, and you must have this fear that your job could be lost because of what you say, and not what you say that's illegal or against FCC rules like the old days or something, because my feelings got hurt.
And we're fully aware that they could get to our advertisers. That's unfortunate.
It's a threat. It's mob tactics.
I'm sorry, just one. Yep. They always talk about like the Big Brother is watching man, and it's always the repressive conservative government seen as Big Brother. And I would like the same people to now look at this situation and see, do you understand that Big Brother is watching from that side of the fence too? It's not just a conservative, awful, religious government. It is the completely other side of the fence too.
There is a constant threat now that is only going to get worse for broadcasters, that whatever you say that might offend or hurt someone's feelings, which is completely legal to do, you're free to offend. You're free to say something that someone doesn't like.
People don't understand.
But now there's a looming threat over your head that you will lose your livelihood over that.
And eventually we will. I have no doubt now. I have no doubt.
No, I don't either. He does not have the right to say it on public airwaves or the cable broadcast of a publicly owned company. That is a privilege. Just as you do not have the right to have a license to drive a car, it's a privilege. Is this guy trying to equate the freedom of speech, which is written into our Constitution, to driving a car and having the privilege to have a license? There's no license for speech. You don't have to get a license to say things. Unbelievable. Another point some of my critics raised. This is Al Roker from his blog entitled "Not in My House."
That's not what it's called, is it?
Yes.
What's not in his house? Exercise equipment?
Yeah, that's a fat joke, Al. Al. Thank God we can still make fat jokes, fatso.
This week.
You just couldn't stop, could you, Al? You just couldn't stop reaching for the pumpkin pie.
Oh.
You had to have a doctor help you.
That pumpkin pie is good, isn't it? With a nice dollop of whipped cream on it.
Will you say no to fattening food? Not in my house.
Not in my house.
I can't believe I'm just a weatherman.
Getting whipped cream all over his keyboard while he's blogging.
I'll bet you he would eat ice cream out of an upturned umbrella. An upside-down umbrella. Just every dish is shaped like an umbrella, isn't it, fat boy?
Feed the emptiness. I'm just a weatherman. I want to be more in broadcasting.
I want to be heard.
Guy gets no respect at his job, so he's got to go to his blog and try to make a point. He says another point, and wait till you get a load of this one. This guy's delusional. Another point some of my critics raised was that I was holding Don Imus to a different standard than rappers and African-American comedians who traffic in the same kind of language. Guess what? I think their speech is hateful, too. I don't condone it, don't allow it in my home, don't use the words, don't go to the concerts. How about then, Don Imus says what he says, you don't agree with it like you do these rappers, you don't turn on his radio show.
We don't watch his show in my home.
We don't watch his show.
His show in my home.
We don't watch it on MSNBC. We don't listen to it on the radio. That is what you're trying to say here.
Someone made a great point last night. Let the free market decide what we should hear on the radio, as long as we're adhering to the FCC regulations. Let the free market decide on all this crap.
Listen to the benign dreck he fires out next. Listen to the Band-Aid this fraud throws out next.
Those companies that profit in the demeaning of women via musical lyrics, whether rap or rock, should be put on notice. Put on notice.
What does that mean, fat boy?
As should the radio stations that play the music. Others who have used hateful language have recently been fired from prominent jobs. Who?
And
what were they white?
Name names.
Were they black? Who were they?
Man.
And where is the demanding that they're fired? Where's the idea? Where's the adamant attitude you had towards Imus?
They have been held accountable. Again, who? African Americans who believe certain elements of rap music, music videos, and popular entertainment need to be more respectful toward our own should speak out and repudiate that element. I know I have, and many others have as well. What about calling for their firing?
Yeah, why not, Al?
What about not working at NBC and tolerating what goes on upstairs at Saturday Night Live? A lot of times they do some racially charged humor on that show. Well, what about that? They work at NBC. And he says, a slippery slope to be sure, deciding what should be heard or not heard. But the difference, again, is where it is heard and who is saying it and what is their intent. Well, what about who is saying it, Al? Are you saying there's a different standard of free speech depending on who is saying what? Or aren't we all equal as far as free speech is supposed to go? You disgust me.
Now you know, by the way, why he is a weatherman. He's just a social dummy, and all he does is he's just languishing in these vagaries. They should be put on notice. What does that mean, stupid?
Mr. Imus misspoke when he told Matt that if all we could come up with is a few instances of racial intolerance in the span of a 30-year program, it was, in essence, not that big a deal. Not so fast, Don.
What was the question? How did you lose weight? Doctor, could you help me? I can't do it myself. Staple. Thank you, doctor.
Not so fast, Don. On a regular basis, African Americans, no matter who they are, were generally portrayed in a pimp or Aunt Jemima voice. This is his argument on this. Meanwhile, we had just played a Steve Harvey clip from his radio show barely a couple of weeks ago. Right. And Steve Harvey and his little crew over there, all black guys, I guess, were doing a redneck program. As if
Redneck News or something.
Redneck News. So they were portraying people from the South using a twangy kind of redneck voice and stereotypical setting of a trailer and this, that, and the other thing. Why is that acceptable, Al Roker? But it's not if Don Imus and his crew portray African Americans with a pimp or Aunt Jemima voice.
Yeah. I mean, that was never done on Comedy Central recently by a great comic, Chappelle.
Oh, Dave Chappelle. Of course.
That wasn't done in comedy. I didn't hear Al see Al blog.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me go back a page. That must fit into the difference, again, is where it's heard and who is saying it.
Oh, all right.
So, again, black people, carte blanche.
Yeah, just be honest like Patrice said.
Patrice is honest, at least.
Blacks should be able to say it. Just say that, Al.
People have written in asking why I haven't spoken out against others who have made the same transgressions. The answer is a simple one. One that I'm not particularly proud of.
Oh, where's
your waistline?
It wasn't in my house, and it wasn't so profoundly blatant. Don Imus broadcast under the NBC News banner via MSNBC. This is a reflection of my company. I won't stand for the idea. You won't stand because your belly was too big.
Wait, the identity of his company is more important than the identity of his racial identity?
Yeah.
So if it's said on NBC, it's bad. But if rappers who are routinely talking about hoes and bitches and shooting, and that's okay?
That's
because
fine.
It's not on NBC,
It's fine.
Dope.
I won't stand for the idea that someone who has the privilege of working under the AGs of NBC News could damage this organization with a taint of racism and sexism. When did the taint come into this?
I don't know. The taint should be left alone. It's oniony.
He goes on with a couple other things that I really can't be bothered with. But he goes, in the meantime, I hope that the debate over this can be civil and meaningful, not one of name-calling and anger. Okay, fat boy, we won't call you names.
We're still allowed to say fatso. They'll take away that next. Robert Johnson, founder of BET on MSNBC.
I'm an overeating American. Just shut up.
This is a good segue because he was asked about, black entertainment.
BET, wow.
Black entertainment television.
The comics on BET, some of the music videos. I watched late night BET. Woofa. It's like it is an anti-white channel.
But again, white people are superior. This is the way this vibe is. White people are the parents and superior, and therefore should be held to a higher and different standard.
Right. We don't have the right to complain because it's like complaining to little children.
To children.
That's the way that this is looked at by a lot of these liberal, self-hating whites and blacks. Yeah, that won't take responsibility for their own. These rappers and stuff. Absolutely.
And we want to say it again too. BET should be able to do whatever the hell they want, and Imus should be able to say whatever the hell he wants on his radio show as long as he's in FCC regulations.
Why do you think I know about this stuff? Because I enjoy watching it.
Yeah.
I enjoy watching things that are on BET. I enjoy watching black comics make fun of white people. It's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny. I'm not going to bitch about it.
Here's Robert Johnson last night, MSNBC.
I think that African Americans have always felt that we have a responsibility for our own destiny, and we will continue to hold that to be the case. And clearly, I join with Reverend Sharpton in saying that if anybody within the African American community wants to hold a debate on how we treat ourselves, we ought to do it, and I'll be the first one to ante up a place to hold it and have that debate. And I did that with it when I was at BET.
A debate. See the language?
Soft.
It changes.
Vague language.
Hey, if we want to talk about how African American artists are using these words and degrading women and showing our young men that this is not right, and we want to have a debate, we'll sit down, we'll get some coffee. It'll be great. We'll have a nice little debate, and nothing will get accomplished because there's no threats looming over their heads that you're going to dive in and take away their livelihood. How about that? Why don't one of these guys step up and demand these record labels drop the artist?
Yep.
Where is that type of thing? They want to have debates. They want to have hip-hop summits. They want to have meetings. There's not this looming threat of being fired.
Here, he goes on.
I told the record industry, look, guys, if you guys want to stop making these kind of videos, believe me, I have no problems in showing them. And when you talk to the artists, the creative people, it's up to you to stop this, and we'll be glad to show other product that you produce. But comparing Don Imus to a artist in a music video is apples and oranges.
Is it?
I would have picked another fruit.
They're both fruit. It's the same thing.
All right, listen, we got to take a break.
Yes, I know what you meant. I'm so trying to steer the ship away from the rocks today.
But the thing I'm saying, it's the soft, vague language they use.
That easy, hey, if you wanna, we're willing to listen, and this, that. Where's the hard line stance?
You hear the phoniness coming out of the black community, the phony indignation.
Absolutely.
This is what we're gonna do when we get back. We're gonna open up the phone lines. Ooh. Finally.
Hang in there, people.
I'm sorry we haven't gotten to you a lot today, but, because we usually like to get your voices on our show. And I love Jason Whitlock today, a columnist, a black columnist. I think this is the way to end today's show.
Reading
his article. It's
some sense.
It's an amazing article that kind of really, really explains a lot of the stuff we've been talking about today.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll read his column next, and we'll go to the phones. It's Opie and Anthony.
It's the Opie and Anthony Show. The virus is spreading.
Hey, this is Jim Norton. I'll be shooting my 1-hour HBO special in Washington, D.C., Saturday, June 2nd. I'm doing 2 shows at the Lincoln Theater. These are free tickets. If you want them, there's an email address, jimnorton@broadwayvideo.com. You send in an email with your name, your address, and what show you want to go to, the early or the late show, and they will contact you. That's jimnorton@broadwayvideo.com for my June 2nd HBO special being shot at the Lincoln Theater in Washington, D.C., and it is a 1-hour special.
You're checking out the Opie and Anthony Show. We're going to go to the phones here. I just want to acknowledge the behind-the-scenes staff. They've worked their asses off the last few days. Than and E-Rock and Steve and Travis, Sam, Derek, and Danny back at the other joint. Unbelievable, making sure we have all our updates and all the audio we need to play on the show today. Thank you, guys.
It's a shame they have to be fired.
Yeah, well, someone had to go. But they really stepped up, and I want to, make sure people know that out there. Our phone number, 1-866-313-FREE. Let's say hi to JR. He's a black guy. Usually it doesn't matter if you're black, white, yellow, green, purple. Who gives a crap? But I think today's important to see where some of these comments are coming from.
Green?
Green, yeah. That's food poisoning guy. JR, what's up?
How you doing?
Hey.
Listen, I am Puerto Rican and black. My wife is black, and we both start the day listening to you guys in the morning.
Thank you.
Either way, I wanted to talk about the hypocrisy of those who are basically supporting Reverend Al. I was having a conversation with a few coworkers about the Imus issue, and they all think he should be fired. However, I made the point about freedom of speech and how it was just a joke and the hypocrisy of Reverend Al and the rallies.
Mm-hmm.
They were all shooting me down. I'm sorry. But basically, after we start work, one of the guys that I was speaking to, he walks over to another Indian coworker and calls him a camel jockey. The other guy, he basically starts singing along and to that song that Norton was talking about, the R. Kelly song.
Yeah.
And then the other guy starts making jokes about the coworker's boobs. So I basically talking to guys who are being hypocrites about the whole situation, about the things that they do.
Yeah, it's just a pile on. That's all it is. You see a guy getting kicked. You look at him. He's an old white guy, and it's fun to see an old white guy go down for saying something inappropriate, and that's all that is.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's phony, because black people, they know where it's coming from when they hear it. Everybody knows he was kidding.
Yeah. All right, JR, thank you.
Man.
We want to do a speed round. If you're on hold, just try to get to your point so we get a lot of voices heard here. Alex in New York, what's up? Hello.
Real quick, I called up the Imus thing and donated, and you know what? I never would have ordinarily, donated for the kids and, whatever, but I think it's an awesome way for us to show our support of Imus. You guys are right on the money. I think it allows us to have a voice to say, you know what? The guy's right, he did nothing wrong, and what you guys are saying is right on the money. And the last real quick thing, Norton, the funniest thing in the history of man
Crinkle, crinkle.
Oh, thank you, sir. As well as the hottest.
Thank you, Alex. Yeah, MSNBC, they didn't do the right thing. I mean, you know, they could have canceled the show on Monday, but they did it hours before Imus's Radiothon, which helps basically sick kids.
Yeah, sick children with cancer and all that stuff. And
kids dying of SIDS.
CJ's,
I mean, they've made
fortune.
Well, no.
no, they made a fortune for the foundation, and the number is 877-877-6464. Very easy to remember. 877-877-6464.
They've made a lot of strides with SIDS, is what I was trying to say, but I'm kind of tired.
Donate, whatever you want, $20, donate $20. It doesn't have to be a lot of money.
And one of the reasons was because of the Radiothon that Imus has been doing for 18 years, and MSNBC decided it was really important to get him off the air before he raised money for sick kids.
Yeah.
Those douchebags.
So they can pontificate, and they can, and Al Roker, while he is staring at the dessert that he can no longer eat in the embassy commissary, can say, "You did really good. Can I please editorialize somewhere? Because I feel empty holding an umbrella at my age."
Cheryl in Jersey, you're on the Opie and Anthony show.
Hi, good morning. I'm a first-time caller.
Hi, Cheryl.
Hi. I'd like to, can I mention another radio station on air?
Oh, my God! Oh, my God, dump out!
Okay.
Of course.
97.1, I'd like to say. I actually stopped listening to them probably about 6 months ago because their racial comments towards white people, such as crackers, wiggers, whatever they want to call us, they can.
Yep.
But their majority of listening, 95%, I'd say, probably are African American.
Yes.
Hardly white people call that show, and they make fun of us all the time. I feel this is terrible, what Imus is going through. I'm sure he is an elderly gentleman, an older man. But,
an elderly gentleman. I'm sure that makes him feel good.
He's pushing 70, I think.
I mean, he's got to laugh about this. I mean, it's like my grandmother saying, do you like my bling? Almost. She's trying to be cool. I mean, there's other rappers that sing songs about hoes and bitches and this and that, but that's okay.
Yeah, someone made the point last night that Imus is way too old to really know what's going on around him, like he's on the internet trying to find out the latest slang in the black culture. Yeah. He obviously said that because he's heard it so many times around him just in everyday life.
And it's acceptable, and other people haven't said anything, but all of a sudden, Reverend Al Sharpton jumps on this bandwagon once again.
Yeah, Hot 97 could say whatever the hell they want about Whitey.
As they should be able to.
And once again, we think they should be able to say whatever they want as long as, and Imus and us and everyone else should be able to do whatever they want.
What's with this hula hoop?
And it offended me to the
Something
point
the kids
where,
are.
It offended me to the point where I don't even listen to their radio station anymore, and I'd like a full boycott of MSNBC and 97.1.
Well, that's what you did the right thing. If you don't like 97, you don't listen to it.
You don't listen.
Let them say whatever they want to say.
Not trying to get anyone fired, right?
Yeah, just don't listen.
All right, thank you, Cheryl.
Goodbye, madam.
Want to try to get some other people on the air. Steve in Pittsburgh. What's up, Steve?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, Steve.
It's actually Ski, but that's all right.
Okay.
I just want to let you guys know that I came home after work today, and I donated to the Imus line, and I actually convinced my mother, who hates you guys, mainly Jimmy Norton, for saying anus about 2 months ago.
Really?
Yeah, I don't even remember what context it was. He said anus, and my mother was just like, who would say anus on the radio?
Tell Mom to settle down. I'm a good boy.
You know how many fans we got because Jimmy said that? So.
I apologize. I know. They're all in.
It probably wasn't the actual word. It was probably what he said just before it.
I'm sure.
Well, let me apologize.
Something like, I like to, and then...
Yeah. Don't apologize.
I'm sorry.
All right, Steve, but you donated money to Imus's cause today?
Yes, I did, and my mother.
All right, thank you, sir. Yeah, we
Two
need...
damage.
Hey, man, chill
Two
out.
damage.
Chill out. We're trying to show everyone that we have a little intelligence
He
today.
punched out.
I know.
He gave 4 damage. I wasn't even able to cast my spell.
All of our listeners will be trying to make points. People, that's a good point. Frunkus.
Yeah. We're being monitored
Point
today.
lost.
We've been monitored all week, so we're trying to show some intelligence.
I know.
So no hilarious or frunkus or any of that.
Ramones or any of that nonsense.
Yeah, no Ramones. Dennis in Philly, what's up?
Yo, what's going on, buddies?
Dan?
Hey, you guys took a little bit of my scene, but about just wanting other radio stations to be able to say what they say as well. It's not like we're trying to get them off the air or anything like that. But my main point was that freedom of speech is there because we need to be able to say whatever we want. Because any minor comment, any minor comment that we say can be taken as something completely crazy. I mean, somebody could say something, cats or something. Next thing you know, the crazy cat lady next door could be calling PETA or ASPCA, and they'd be knocking down your door and, asking for your head.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you talk about. Someone's going to be mad at it or upset, or it's going to hurt someone's feelings. You're doing a comedy show.
Like one time I was in a hospital, and there was a bunch of very sick people, and none of them could walk. And I just wanted to be funny, so I started yelling, fire, fire, fire. And they had to drag a lot of these sick people out, and a few of them died. And all of a sudden, I'm the bad guy.
Now you are the bad guy. Why? It's freedom of speech.
Now I'm the bad guy.
I'm the bad guy.
All right, let's go to Jason in Buffalo.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, it's going to be a great game tonight, Islanders Sabres. What do you think there, Jason?
Oh, I can't wait for it, man. Buffalo's going to kick some ass.
What a surprise that you would say Buffalo.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. I wonder if there are Islander fans in Buffalo.
No.
All right, you're listening on The Edge. What's going on, Jason?
Not much. I just want to say I donated some money to that, and the young lady on the line said, another O&A fan. She's like, I just wish we had a column for this. So.
Oh, that's pretty cool. The O&A fans are being heard over there. That's nice.
That's good. It's a way to show support, and
great to this show.
To show MSNBC that they're a bunch of tools and help out, sick kids. Not particularly in that order. I guess the sick kid thing would have been first on that list. A bunch of things, and then, sick kids.
Imus really helped us get back on regular radio, by the way. He called called us personally and said, look, the XM thing is really cool and stuff. You get to say whatever you want, but, you're not really talking to a lot of people yet. As that new service continues to grow, you will. And I think you guys really need and should be on regular radio. And he made some big calls for us, and that really helped us get back on regular radio. And I'll never forget that. Let's say hi to Danny in Lindenhurst. Danny, what's up?
Listen, I think we should boycott. We should hurt Al Sharpton's pocket in a big way. That squirming little bastard, he picks on an old man who doesn't have a fight left in him, instead of going after some real issues, after gangsters, after those girls at Rutgers. You're gonna tell me that they don't listen to rap artists putting down the black females, the black women of this country?
Of course they do.
I would think they do, but who knows?
I would think they would listen to that.
I don't have their iPods in front of me
before they listen to Don Imus. That's for sure.
I guarantee you some of them do.
Yeah.
I guarantee it. He's going after a guy who doesn't have a fight left in him. He's an easy target.
Of course.
We should hurt Sharpton's pocket. Why don't you guys make a list
if you told me what Al Sharpton does and where he gets his money, I'd love to try to boycott it, but it's a mystery to everybody where this guy gets his goddamn money from.
He's just a floating fat man with a nice hairdo.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm never buying another thing from Staples. I'm never buying another thing from Staples.
Yeah, they're really enraging, those cowards. All right. Stupid office supplies. Go Home Depot.
All right, Danny, thank you.
I'm dumb.
Let's say hi to Sean in Jersey. Sean.
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
Love the show.
Godspeed.
Yeah, I just want to say with that MSNBC dropping Imus before the whole telethon thing, basically MSNBC is a bunch of baby killers.
Well,
hey, there you go.
All right.
Oh, that's his way to go.
One way to put it.
All of a sudden, they're me lie. All right, good.
Yeah, we're going to get to that in a sec, Jimmy. Crystal in Jersey.
Good morning, guys.
Hey.
Hi.
I just wanted to say that I relate to what Cheryl's saying. It all starts with the rap music. It's so hostile. It makes you want to kill people. It puts down women. It says racial slurs about the own black community. What the hell's going on? Don't these people wake up and see what they're listening to?
Yeah.
The news last night with all those gangsters being locked up. They were all black, but that's okay. Kill them. That's fine.
You're right about that, and just the fact that Don Imus, a guy, an older guy,
old white dude
who's white, even knew those words. Where do you think he heard those words? From other white people he hangs out with? That came from hearing it used by black people.
Hearing it to the point where he just assumed that it was completely acceptable to say on his radio show.
Yeah.
He had to just say what he said after the fact, but he thought, I've heard this so many times, it's got to be acceptable.
But according to people like Al Sharpton...
But see, no one told us the rules.
There's a rule. The rule is that freedom of speech is purely based on the color of your skin.
I'll bet you Imus only rents black on blondes porn. Picks up his lingo.
Maybe that's where he got it. Black on blonde.
Hey, thank you, Crystal. All right, that leads...
that's some good stuff. Black on blonde porno.
That phone call leads into this unbelievable column that we found from Jason Whitlock.
Kansas City, this guy.
Kansas City, he's a black columnist. I guess it's important to say that today.
Imus is just going to spend his time watching the Gimp scene from Pulp Fiction over and over again. Yeah, give it to him. yeah.
And Jason Whitlock, black columnist, he writes, Imus isn't the real bad guy. Instead of wasting time on irrelevant shock jocks, black leaders need to be fighting a growing gangster culture. Thank you, Don Imus. You've given us black people an excuse to avoid our real problem. You've given Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson another opportunity to pretend that the old fight, which is now the safe and lucrative fight, is still the most important fight in our push for true economic and social equality. You've given Vivian Stringer and Rutgers the chance to hold a nationally televised recruiting celebration, expertly disguised as a news conference to respond to your poor attempt at humor. Thank you, Don Imus. You extended Black History Month to April, and we can once again wallow in victimhood, protest like it's 1965, and delude ourselves into believing that fixing your hatred is more necessary than eradicating our self-hatred. The bigots win again. While we're fixated on a bad joke cracked by an irrelevant bad shock jock, I'm sure at least one of the marvelous young women on the Rutgers basketball team is somewhere snapping her fingers to the beat of 50 Cent, he writes, or Snoop Dogg's or Young Jeezy's latest ode glorifying nappy-headed pimps and hoes. I ain't saying Jesse, Al, and Vivian are gold diggers, but they don't have the heart to mount a legitimate campaign against the real black folk killers. It is us. At this time, we are our own worst enemies. We have allowed our youths to buy into a culture, hip-hop, that has been perverted, corrupted, and overtaken by prison culture. The music, attitude, and behavior expressed in this culture is anti-black, anti-education, demeaning, self-destructive, pro-drug dealing, and violent. Rather than confront this heinous enemy from within, we sit back and wait for someone like Imus to have a slip of the tongue and make the mistake of repeating the things we say about ourselves.
Great line.
Jesus.
This is an amazing line right here. It's embarrassing. Dave Chappelle was offered $50 million to make racially insensitive jokes about black and white people on TV. He was hailed as a genius. Black comedians routinely crack jokes about white and black people, and we all laugh out loud. I'm no Don Imus apologist. He and his tiny companion, Mike Lupica, blasted me after I fell out with ESPN. Imus is a hack. But in my view, he didn't do anything outside the norm for shock jocks and comedians. He also offered an apology. That should have been the end of this whole affair. Instead, it's only the beginning. It's an opportunity for Stringer, Jackson, and Sharpton to step on victim platforms and elevate themselves and their agendas.
And he has a money sign for the S in it.
Yep. I watched the Rutgers news conference and was ashamed. Martin Luther King Jr. spoke for 8 minutes in 1963 at the March on Washington. At the time, black people could be lynched and denied fundamental rights with this little thought. With the comments of a talk show host most of her players had never heard of before last week, serving as her excuse, Vivian Stringer rambled on for 30 minutes about the amazing season her team had. Somehow, we're supposed to believe that the comments of a man with virtually no connection to the sports world ruined Rutgers' wonderful season. Had a broadcaster with credibility and a platform in the sports world utter the words Imus did, I could understand a level of outrage. But an hour-long press conference over a man who has already apologized, already been suspended, and is already insignificant and just plain intellectually dishonest. This is opportunism. This is a distraction. In the grand scheme, Don Imus is no threat to us in general and no threat to black women in particular. If his words are so powerful and so destructive and must be rebuked so forcefully, then what should we do about the idiot rappers on BET, MTV, and every black-owned radio station in the country who use words much more powerful and much more destructive? I don't listen or watch Imus' show regularly. Has he at any point glorified selling crack cocaine to black women? Has he celebrated black men shooting each other randomly? Has he suggested in any way that it's cool to be a baby daddy rather than a husband and a parent? Does he tell his listeners that they're suckers for pursuing education and that they're selling out their race if they do? When Imus does any of that, call me and I'll get upset. Until then, he is what he is, a washed-up shock jock who is very easy to ignore when you're not looking to be made a victim. No, we all know where the real battleground is. We know that the gangster rappers and their followers in the athletic world have far bigger platforms to negatively define us than some old white man with a bad radio show. There's no money and lots of danger in that battle, so Jesse and Al are gonna sit it out. This is Jason Whitlock a columnist from Kansas City.
Kansas City Star.
We tried to get him on the phone today, but I'm sure his phone's ringing off the hook.
Probably very busy.
That was a really, really good article.
You know, obviously, he's not a fan of Imus.
But I like that.
But it makes it a little more balanced.
You notice how well I read when it's important?
Yes.
Oh,
thank you.
Reading is fundamental.
Thank you.
It was good that he's not like saying he's obviously not. He's just saying Imus is an irrelevant zero. Like I don't care about him. He's not like one of these.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who it is. Really. It's just he makes great points though on the double standard and where the real problem lies, and the fact that it's a distraction.
Yeah.
And until they address issues in their own community.
All right.
Love that
Patrice
word.
was right though. Patrice, you got to say he's an awful friend and an awful person, but he made some damn good points.
Yep.
And he was right. It was going to be hip hop next.
Yeah.
Bastard was right.
The plugs. We're flying to Vegas after tomorrow's show for the O&A Traveling Virus Comedy Show Saturday. Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, The Joint. 8 or 9 comedians. Very excited. This starts the whole thing. We got a press conference by the pool in the early afternoon. We encourage our listeners, if you're in the area, to come on by and check that out. It's going to be just a very festive time for everybody. Very excited about the comedy show. And then we'll have the press conference announcing all the other dates. But Saturday's the first one in Vegas. Tickets through Ticketmaster.com, and all the info's on our website. Jimmy?
I have one. It's for June 2nd. I'm shooting my 1-hour HBO special in Washington, D.C. at the Lincoln Theater. There are 2 shows. These are free tickets. If you want to come, you write an email with where you're from, your name and address and all that stuff to Jim Norton at BroadwayVideo.com. They will absolutely get back to you. Jim Norton at BroadwayVideo.com. And I want to do it in D.C., and I'm doing it in D.C.
And finally, more importantly, a lot of people asking for the phone number. Imus is doing his radiothon. He's been doing it for 18 years. It helps sick kids, okay? And MSNBC just showing their true character, dumped him knowing that he was going to do the radiothon on MSNBC and on his radio show. So drastically cutting his audience down, knowing full well that donations would be drastically cut.
Yeah, bastards couldn't wait.
They don't give a crap about sick kids is how I look at it. So we're trying to pick up the ball and help out Imus today. So give them a call, 877-877-6464. Donate $1, whatever you could afford. Yep. That would make a statement. And tell them Opie and Anthony sent you, and that you're trying to help out the sick kids for Mr. Imus. Something that people don't really want to acknowledge or talk about in the media for some reason.
Yeah.
All the great stuff he's done with his radio career.
I want to see if somebody mentions it tomorrow. MSNBC did that.
Hey, guys, thank you. This is why we love doing radio. We'll see you guys over at XM. If not, have a great day.
It's the Opie and Anthony Show.
Start XM satellite radio. Here we are, fucking XM, fucking satellite, fucking radio, where we curse. Yeah. Let's say hi to Joe. Joe in Ohio. What's up?
Hey, man, just want to tell you guys, I donated $20 right now, and the lady on the line said the last 15 callers that she can remember were all O&A fans. So they're doing their part across the nation today. I just want to let you guys know the good word's getting out.
That's good, the fans.
And they're not going to hold Imus down, man.
Hey, this is Greg Hughes, the actor that plays Opie on the Opie Anthony Show. I just want to...
what a privilege.
I just want to say, and this is coming from Greg Hughes, that I'm really, really proud of our fans today. No jokes whatsoever.
Yeah.
We'll get back to the jokes in about 10 seconds, but...
They are assholes, but they know when to come to the table.
Yeah, Greg Hughes, the actor that plays Opie on the Opie and Anthony Show, thanks you very, very much today. Thanks,
right.
Joe.
Hey, all right, Chief. Keep it rocking, buddy.
All right. John in Colorado. John, what's up?
Hey, fellas. Love ya. Love the show.
Yeah.
Hey, I made a donation there over to the Imus Fund deal, and the lady on the phone just said that she's really grateful for you guys and your show and everything, so just thought I'd pass the word on to you.
Yeah, that's cool. It's on the pad data. I see it for myself now. There's the phone number. Don't have to give it out anymore. Imus Radiothon. That's for sick kids, just in case you're tuning in. And MSNBC felt like it wasn't really important to have him on the air today to help with his radiothon. So we're trying to pick up the slack.
And maybe people can make a call to MSNBC's offices and say, why the fuck did you take this guy off when he's doing a children's cancer benefit? Like Ope said before, and he was right. It is a privately owned company. That's their right. They want to take him off, they can do that. But how do you do it the day he's doing this charity drive for kids with cancer, you shitbags?
It's amazing.
And they used the word integrity last night a lot.
Yeah.
Integrity.
We only show 6 children with cancer when it will get us ratings. As far as helping them, fuck them in the mouth.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's their stance. Unbelievable. Well, everyone's calling to say they made a donation. Look, Bruce in Syracuse. Bruce, what's up?
Hey, I just wanted to say I made a donation myself. I told the woman I supported Imus and I was big Opie and Anthony fans, and I said that's where I heard about the donations from.
Right on,
and
man.
she says, we've been really busy now just because of their fans. So you guys are really helping spread the word, and I think we should help, set a record for, donations.
Well, he usually, I guess I was paying attention, he usually, raises $3 million in 2 days.
Yeah.
Wow.
But, MSNBC really made that possible because they reach a lot more people than just his radio show. So, I don't know. If we're able to hit $3 million again this year, that would say a lot for our listeners and say a lot for people in general. Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, let's go to Diana from California. Diana.
Hey, guys.
What's up?
I want to know where that black girl is, the one who always calls in and harasses you guys.
No, she's okay.
About black rape. Where the fuck is she now?
No, she's not bad. She's all right. She calls us for good reasons, too. We like her.
No, she called early on in this controversy.
Who, me? I'm the girl that was shaving my pussy in the tub that day.
We know who you are.
Goodbye.
It's not about you, douchebag.
Right, we understand pussy shaver. Godspeed. At least your pussy won't be you won't be a nappy pussied hoe.
We're trying to explain to you, Diana, who's now gone.
Yeah.
What is her name?
Jennifer? No, Angela or
No.
Young Missy.
Black girl. Amy? Is it an Amy? Maybe. Whatever. She did call early on in this controversy, and she just completely thought,
Oh, I know what it is.
that the whole situation was out of control.
Yeah, her name was... No? Was it? Or...
That's insensitive.
Or... No?
Hey, we'll talk to MSNBC. Give me a phone number. We'll talk to the anchor that's on right now.
Oh, God, let's call him.
Look, they felt like they didn't want anything to do with Mr. Imus, but I swear we've had MSNBC on all day to monitor the situation, and they haven't talked about anything else.
Yeah, just Imus.
Let's call him.
Did you hear Jesse Jackson on there last night?
I got it.
When he said...
we got it.
Yeah, we got the clip?
Yeah, which one you want, Ant?
Well, the whole thing was infuriating.
All right, let's start from the beginning then.
Let's see if we can understand him, first of all. This guy was... You could barely understand him years ago, but something's happened to him where he's really unintelligible. You just can't understand him. His mouth is doing something different than his face.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of accent that is.
And the Duke
Amanda.
girl's out
Amanda's
of the
her
paper.
name. Huh?
The Duke girl's out of the paper. I mean, she's in the paper, but no one's talking about the Duke accuser. They're all talking about Don Imus, not the black fucking chick that just ruined or almost ruined 3 lives and cost an entire lacrosse team a season. Not some that's a sports story.
What about them? Yeah.
What about that sports story? What about the fucking damage she did to them?
By the way,
phonies.
By the way, if we have any pull with XM Satellite Radio, when Imus gets fired, I hope I just hope they bring him to XM.
He would be welcome with open arms.
That's right, in middays.
Right.
Not on this channel, though. We need our replay.
Sorry, I-Man. Go to find another channel.
We'll put you on Air America.
We'll put you on the 40s channel.
That was a great decade.
Imus in the morning.
I'm trying to think of some of the hip-hop channels, because that's the joke, but I don't...
Oh, put him on a hip-hop channel?
Oh, The Street, I think, is one.
Yo, my niggas, coming up, Snoop Dogg with his latest.
Speaking of Snoop Dogg, and then we'll get into the Jesse. Jeff in PA has something. Jeff, go ahead.
Yeah, guys, has Eric Logan or anybody at XM talked about what, if anything, they're going to do with Snoop Dogg because of what he specifically said about Imus?
Nothing. Why would they? No. I mean, I don't like what he said, but why would they? Snoop Dogg should be able to say what he said about Imus, even though it's silly.
Yeah.
I think it's inconsistent, and he's a hypocrite, but he should be able to. Why would
we're not trying to get anyone fired or thrown off. That's would be being hypocrites on our part. I just want to point out that there is a double standard going on.
Yeah.
That's all.
And I just kind of want separate but equal facilities.
Right. Separate but equal.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thanks, guys.
You should be able to do your rap songs. You should be able to do your edgy material on a radio show.
Of course.
Jesse Jackson, Anthony, with Keith Olbermann.
Jezzo.
It's official, man. I hate Keith Olbermann.
Yeah, he's a cunt.
People have been saying things about him for a while. I'm like, I can't be bothered to really focus that much on his show. But last night I was watching like crazy, and this goody two-shoes who thinks he's a tool. Who thinks he has some kind of credibility now. He used to be on ESPN just doing sports scores. Well, here we go.
But let's start, sir, with your overall reaction to MSNBC and NBC's decision.
Well, it is a victory for public decency. The airwaves should not be conduits for racism.
No clue. You said to try to understand what he's saying.
It's a victory for decency. Airwaves should not be
used as a conduit. A conduit for racism.
And indecency.
Well, indecency, the FCC takes care of that.
Yes, they do.
So, thank you, Jesse Jackson. But people are already fucking up radio in the FCC with indecency. So you don't have to worry about that. Indecency, taken care of. If you say something that's considered indecent on the radio, the FCC steps in. So don't worry about that. Racism, sorry. You're kind of allowed to express that ideology on public airwaves.
As long as you're not behaving that way, like in a way that's oppressing somebody or encouraging someone to be injured.
You can't get on the air and a call to arms. You can't say, hey, here's a call to arms, I want to start the race war kind of thing, and tell people to go out and start murdering people. That is hatred, it's racism, it's, illegal.
Like Hotel Rwanda.
Yeah.
Get the cockroaches.
Yeah. Chop down the big tree. It is time to chop the big tree. It's not, we're not talking about that. We're talking about speech that people don't agree with, people find offensive to them personally, people are sensitive to. That's allowed. A conduit for racism. You're allowed to say that shit.
Yeah.
So shut up.
By the way, maybe for another day. Hey, did you see the Tostitos commercial that either Louis C.K. wrote or they stole his bit from Lucky Louie?
Which one?
The very first scene of the show when his daughter keeps asking why, they did the exact same thing in the commercial. It's Derek from Philly.
Oh,
why? We can try to get a copy of that and see what that's all about for a future show.
Tostitos are for queers.
There you go.
It is a victory for public decency. The airwaves should not be conduits for racism, or racist bigotry, or misogyny, or religious bigotry, and sponsors should not underwrite it. That's one dimension of it. But it's also fair to say that many of the employees last week sent emails and they felt powerless because they got no response last week. The ombudsman should have perhaps caught this when it happened last week, but it was not caught. There's some combination of the internal uprising and public pressure that made NBC revamp its own standards, which was, of course, the right thing to do.
Honestly, I can't focus enough to listen to what he has to say. It's like, really hard to figure out what he's saying.
It's every third word or so is unintelligible, but you could kind of figure it out. It's like a puzzle. It's like a Jesse Jackson puzzle game where you listen to a speech, try to figure out what he's saying, while you take out every third word.
Is that why he didn't become bigger in the black community?
Oh, bigger. Yes, it's why he didn't become bigger.
Because Obama has a way about him when he speaks.
Well, yeah.
Yes, he just lies.
You can
hope you don't tie it into
at least you can understand what he's saying.
Yes, I'm cold.
Jesse Jackson.
Those freezing lips, right, Jimmy?
Purple lips. Thin white man, purple lips. He really bugs me.
Jesse Jackson, you cannot understand.
Thank you.
I don't know what that is. Is it a speech impediment? Or an accent? Or some kind of neurological problem? What the fuck is that?
I think he has to swallow every third word.
At one point, I think he said MSNBC, but I'm not sure. It's like he was trying to pronounce it as a word.
Oh, these poor guys. You picked the wrong day to come here. We're more serious than funny today.
Oh. What'd you say?
What?
Fucking miscreants.
Oh, I thought you said mystery race.
No.
Mystery race.
Oh, yeah. What nationality are you, sir?
I'm half black and half Polish.
Wow. Stop it, you're not.
Give me a pen.
How the hell did your parents hook up?
Call the media.
Yeah,
we
please.
found one.
Get in here.
I've never heard of that before in my life.
Goodness.
My dad's black and my mom's Polish, Finnish, and Lithuanian.
Oh, nice.
He wanted the hot little blonde, and she wanted the guy with the big dick.
Yep.
There you go.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Black white people are very good looking. No, I'm not flirting with you. I'm just saying black and white people do a very...
I always said supermodels.
Yeah, they make supermodels.
If you want a supermodel, you get a white woman together with a black guy, and forget about it. They spit out supermodels.
With my luck, though, I'd have Nell Carter with big blotchy white spots.
There's no... There's nothing better than when you get a black couple together, black and white couple together, and they have a kid that has like big blue eyes, permatan, and like blondish hair. It's like, how the hell did that happen?
Hair like Sam, like
they're
blonde.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, and a body like Sam and a face like Sam.
Absolutely.
A dick like Sam.
And rosy red cheeks like
nice
Prince
ass,
Harry.
Spankable ass like Sam.
Yeah. Sam's ass is probably too thin.
Candy head.
E-Rock's got a spankable. E-Rock's ass on Sam's body would just be a hetero or homosexual person's fuck dream. You give me Sam's, if I may, Fiona Apple-ish body.
Right.
Eric's plump.
Ish.
Yes, ish. Fiona Apple-ish.
It's identical.
E-Rock's plump. Who does his ass remind me? It's almost J-Lo. You give me that fucking delicious J-Lo ass.
He's more like Jello.
Hey,
watch it wiggle, see it jiggle. Where is he? And that's just his forehead.
I know.
I loved your joke about his forehead was wiggling from the fat.
I didn't like when he ran, and I hate his medium shirts. Get the XL and stop drying it on fucking core of the sun temperature, stupid. Piece of shit, buy an XL. Fucking tumble dry.
Just as you say that, he's trying to pull his like.
He's trying his best. He's
trying to cover up. Hey, Jimmy, whose butt are you going to be touching today? We got to keep the streak alive. We got a fan.
You got to volunteer.
No, because his hand went up.
Damn it!
I don't
He
go
wants
for that.
it.
He's smart. I don't trust him.
Come on, handsome.
I'm delicious.
Wow, he likes you.
He has a frightening face.
I have a Cro-Magnon forehead.
You really do, and he looks like fucking Amon Gert, and he bugs me. Gert should be fucking firing at someone randomly for fucking up the tub scrubbing. Beat it. Go hit on the Jewish maid in the basement and then choke her. Do you know you tempt me?
More Jesse Jackson. Thank you, guys.
Enjoy a little more Jesse.
Enjoy the show. Jackson believes this was a pattern of behavior. How did you say behavior?
Behavior?
A pattern of behavior.
The goddamn bees got nothing to do with it.
A pattern of behavior.
After all, this is a pattern of behavior. It's not only did they say these girls were hardcore hoes, no napper-headed hoes, no liking unto Memphis Grizzly Bears. But that took a shot at Venus and Serena Williams. It shouldn't be in Playboy. They should be in National Geographic.
Geographic.
Similar kind of shot at Gwen Ifill. Took a shot at Maya Angelou. Even when Hillary Clinton spoke to blacks in Selma, Alabama, that maybe next year she'll have corn rollers and she'll have gold teeth in her mouth. So this kind of lineage of pattern.
Hold on.
There was a reason for
yes,
that.
you fucking phony liar.
He left the reason out.
How old am I, 8?
He said that. He said that Hillary Clinton next time she'd have cornrows and gold teeth because when she was speaking in Selma, she put on a stereotypical black accent for some reason.
She was assimilating in a fraudulent way.
Right. She was putting. She was doing a character. Why didn't she get in trouble for that? She put on, like they were saying, a pimp voice or Aunt Jemima voice, as some gentleman wrote in the paper today. I don't understand that.
I wish we could hear that again. That was great.
What the hell is that about? So he misrepresented that statement.
He's just a dope.
Lineage of pattern. This did not step. And I'm glad MSC did step up, but we can't stop here. Because what it is on NBC television, or what it is in CBS radio, or even music, we must raise a higher ethical standard for all the music, because we cannot allow these images of violence to continue. Because if you can call a woman a hoe and she will submit to it, that's the first step toward domestic violence. That must stop.
What?
Wow, that's a stretch.
First step toward domestic violence, and that must stop.
You call a woman a hoe and she submits to it. That right there is not about Imus. That is about rap, and you dumb motherfuckers that were self-righteously standing up against Imus, you should have realized it's about circling the wagons. We are all performers.
Yep.
And the free speech of a performer is all we have. All of us. I mean, really, 50 Cent, Snoop, Imus, every one of us we talk for a living, and our opinions are a part of what we're talking. We're not just news people.
Oh, by the way, 10 dead, 26 wounded in Baghdad bridge bombing. Anyway.
I'm just saying it looks like it's Al-Qaeda, but whatever.
Anyway.
Who gives a shit about that,
Imus
right?
thing.
Yeah, Imus, the important thing. They should have defended his right to say that, even though it was ignorant.
Yeah, because now...
If he pulled Michael Richards shit on television, he's got to go. That's a line, obviously, that's disgusting.
Michael Richards' tirade was hateful. It was... You know, even though, again, I'm one of those people that I don't care. If he sees it as some kind of art, it's fine by me. If someone doesn't want to hear it, and what they did was walk out, that's fine. Get up, walk out, ask for a refund. If you paid good money that you didn't want to see that, that's fine. But, like, if Imus would have said it like that, with that tone and that that reason that he said it, then there would have been a big problem. He should have been fired. But the times we have to say this, it was in humor, it was a dopey joke, and they're treating it now like he just went all out and was asking for a lynching.
So why are they not? I want to see them fight to remove the livelihood of one of these rappers. They don't have really sponsors. Well, they do have sponsors a lot of cases.
Yeah.
But not only the sponsors, but going after the record stores and the Viacoms and all those companies that produce them. Go after them and threaten to boycott the same fucking way you just
not
did with
discussions,
MSNBC.
not hip-hop summits. We're talking hardcore protests. Where are the signs? Where are the signs that they're holding up and protesting with?
Well, he's busy. Jackson says this is another step in the right direction toward detoxifying the airwaves.
After Michael Richards did his tirade about using the N-word, and the Comedy Store said no one else can do that from our stage, and when a comedian did, they fined him. So no more acts at the Comedy Store using the N-word.
Communist?
That's a step. A number of disc jockeys, they will no longer play records using the N-word. That's a step. This move today on the tirades on the Imus show is another step. I think we now have momentum to speak to artists. After all, Viacom, CBS owns BET, where much of this is transmitted. Time Warner owns HBO, where much of this is transmitted. So we cannot stop here as we seek to detoxify the airways. There must be an ethical standard that all of us have to have some high regard for.
Did you notice what he just did there also? Mm-hmm. He said Viacom owns BET, and AOL, Time Warner, owns HBO. And so it's almost like he's saying, look, we got to go up the ladder till we hit the corporate level, the man. It's like BET can't be held responsible on their own. I can't go there and complain to the staff at BET. We got to go all the way up the ladder to these big corporations that are owned by old white guys.
Well, yeah, but I also think he's saying that's how you... I'm not going to defend him, but I think that's a tremendous threat to BET, what he just said, those fucking dummies. Is that he said they own... What he's saying is we're going to go way over your heads and threaten the whole structure of that company because you're purveying this shit. That's what I think he was saying there. And I don't want to defend you.
Seeing is believing.
But that's what I think he was saying. He was going over the heads. That's how you go. You go to the top of the corporate chain and you hit them because they're the ones who fucking have to answer to the stockholders.
Seeing is believing because it is not in their best interest or in the interest of their constituency to take away money and livelihood of black people.
And HBO, by the way, why would you go after HBO? They're a pay service.
Yeah.
They're a fucking pay service. And what type of stuff is done on HBO?
And what does that mean? Like, you don't air Pulp Fiction because of the scene from where Quentin Tarantino is there with Jules and Vince, and they got to get rid of the Marvin was shot in the face. You take that whole scene out. That's a white guy saying, did you see a sign that said "Dead Nigger Storage"?
How about Roots? Do you show it in Roots?
Do you show it in Roots? Do you show it... Like, where's the line? What do you do? It's an entertainment show. It's not a documentary as far as Pulp Fiction goes. So where's the line? How come then a white guy is able to play a character where he's able to use that language against a black guy? It just doesn't make sense.
It's based in fucking fraudulent grandstanding and an opinion.
Oberman
is a douche.
He mentions he was one of the employees who recommended Imus gets fired.
Good, you rat.
What a douche.
You fucking rat.
Hopefully they come for you next
rats.
for some dumb thing you do.
It's really gotten like this, and I'm not going to blow it out of proportion, so don't take me literally. But there is this air of a Nazi Germany type thing going on where you got to watch out what you say and who hears it, and then you got to say something to bolster the good that was done. Like Oberman gets on and he starts saying, I was there saying that, he should be fired. He had a crow about that to show his bosses, look, I'm with the cause. I'm behind you. Out of fear. These people are doing this out of fear.
Stipulating, sir, that I was one of those NBC employees who put it out to my bosses behind the scenes.
I'm a
that
good
this could not
scoreja.
stand.
He's a little... we all hate people like this.
Behind the scenes. You
Behind
fucking
the
jizz bucket.
And I helped.
You know the guy's in your office. Excuse me, boss. Can I talk to you for a minute? And then you go into his office and close the door. And then and then you have to say, this is off the record, right?
Yeah.
I want to make sure this is off the record, but this is what I think.
Oberman is a cunt and a hall monitor. He's a fucking hall monitor.
Safety patrol, hall monitor. And now you got your little white sash on with the badge on it.
Now he's bragging about it. And he has every right to say this stuff to his boss. I'll say that again, but why not say it in the open?
Yep.
Not after the fact, see, I just want to let you know I went to my boss. Well, you had a forum, a TV show every night, but you didn't have the balls to say it then, now, did you?
How about saying it then? Right.
I regard for.
What happened?
What?
Something happened there.
He babbled something.
Hold on.
Stipulating, sir, that I was one of those NBC employees who put it out to my bosses behind the scenes that this could not stand, that this change involving Don Imus had to be made. I can say that now. I respected my employers and did not say it until they reached this conclusion, which I applaud sincerely. Let me ask you again about the other people. Is someone like Rush Limbaugh, how have they kept their time slots? Will there be an increased effort to either get them to contain themselves within the rounds of decency? Are they on the ropes? Are they on probation because of this?
There must be a renewed sensitivity.
You fucking liberal cunt. You have to mention Rush Limbaugh, and that's the problem with black people and not fucking violent rap?
Yeah.
What a faggot this guy is.
Well, they brought up because Rush had called Obama a African American.
Yeah, I know.
African.
Good.
He called him that, and then he brought up a couple of things, and then they actually brought up Neil Bortz.
What did Neil Bortz say?
I started laughing last night when I said, and then disc jockey Neil Bortz. I couldn't get past his name to even see what he said.
He said something outrageous.
Yeah, it was something. It was. Oh yeah, he had the worst one.
I know.
He said that some woman, I don't know who she was, looked
funny.
like a, and then it was really nasty. A ghetto slut.
I don't remember.
Yeah, was it more than just a ghetto slut though? Yeah, he said some woman.
I think it was within this interview. Maybe
yeah, it was in there.
We got the tape in the back office.
Neil Bortz.
Jimmy.
Neil Bortz juggles with cum balls.
Neil Bortz.
Ooh, we got a laugh out of the guys.
All
right. Thanks, guys. All right.
Balls.
Yeah, little balls of cum. And if he juggles them, he puts his mouth under one and catches it.
You gotta catch it.
Bursts on his tongue like a starburst.
But he can never get them up in the air because they're all sticky. He can never get them up in his hand, but he wants to. He wants to juggle the cum balls. Here's Bortz.
On probation because of this?
There must be a renewed sensitivity and a broader public outcry. After all, this attack, was not for blacks only. This was about women. And that's why I'm glad Kim Gannon now stood up, because it's about misogynism. It's about that.
Misogynistism.
It's about race. And it's about, in the case of Keith Ellison, it's about religion. And so those who are entrusted with the airwaves and those who are sponsors have some responsibility for what they're financing, what they allow to be conveyed across the airwaves.
Wow. Misogynism. That's good, because misogyny would be, I guess, incorrect in English.
Misogynistism.
Dumbbell.
Wow. It is work to listen to that man.
Oh, it really is.
He's an ass and a half.
You got to get a lot of sleep before you listen to him. Which I did not get last night. So
no?
I'm just kind of like trying to focus. Jackie.
Neil Bortz
enjoys
the taste of another man's asshole.
Wait, you don't know that.
Yes, I do. I've read it once online.
Well, it's got to be true then, right? What do you got, Dan?
Neil Bort's quote was, he said, Representative McKinney.
Right.
The one
that
changed her hair.
Yep.
Got in trouble. He couldn't get through security. Looks like a ghetto slut was his quote.
Yes. Yes, was his. Oh, look at Fan saving his own job. Nice, because you get scared now to say something, even though it's not an FCC violation. Look at the fear that is just lingering on top of broadcasting these days. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, here's the final thing from Jackson last night. MSNBC is all day, all night, all white.
Because it's like Nazi Germany without all the fun.
I was on MSNBC 1,040 hours a week. Where are the black show hosts on MSNBC? I mean, that you look at yourself and up.
Is he on the air 1,040 hours a week?
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Wait, what? How many hours are in a week?
I hope you got the last thing that Overman said after this. Who the fuck was that?
Wow.
Kenny.
Oh.
168.
There's 168 hours
in a day?
In a week.
So he said for 1,040 hours a week.
And I read so well earlier.
Yeah. I don't know what he said.
1,040 hours.
1,040 hours a week.
All right.
I mean, that you look at yourself and others from 3 o'clock at night to midnight. Not a single black show host or Latino. All day, all night, all white. Let's desegregate the media. Let's diversify the airwaves. Let the American people...
Like on Black Entertainment Television?
Oh, my God. Thank you, Jimmy.
Now he's bitching that MSNBC doesn't have enough black people as hosts.
Because they're...
the fuck?
Basically, what he's saying is MSNBC much more important than BET.
Yeah.
That's what he basically is saying.
Do you know there's BET? There's
but
Black
you don't see
Stars.
Whitey like bitching and saying where are the white shows on BET.
Well, they're on every other channel.
All day, all night, all white.
All what?
That sounds like that sounds like a great ad for a vacation spot. That should be the fucking on the sign outside your hotel.
Vacation spot. How about a neighborhood?
Wow.
The sign in your gated community.
That's I'm a little offended by that. Making little rhymes.
Yeah,
exactly. All
day, all not, all what?
He needed a...
Is there a problem with that? What's the problem with that? Why do you have to make a little rhyme about all day, all night, all white? What's the fucking problem? How about too many black people on BET? Why don't you open up BET to more white shows? Stop it.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Let's diversify the airwaves. Let the American people see the true breadth and depth of the American public. I think if you have a credible black person on that show, that conversation may never have taken place in the first place.
Fishing?
So I said, now we're going to meet with the NBC officials tomorrow and CBS about what? About employment, vertically and horizontally, about show hosts, about writers and producers.
Look at this.
The whole range of let's desegregate the media because the airwaves belong to the public and let's be fair to that public.
I take your point, and for the record, I'd like to point out that our guest host when I am away is Allison Stewart, who is African American.
Great.
The Reverend Jesse Jackson. Great, thanks for your time tonight.
Thank you. Keith Olbermann, Mr. Goody Two-Shoes.
I know a black person.
What a fucking desperate need for the approval of a black guy.
Yeah.
That is such fucking terror of black people. You don't look at black people as your friends or people you hang out with. You have to let them know that you're one of the okay ones.
I want to justify myself here with you. This is. Did you hear that though? The MSNBC fires Imus over this. So now Jesse's going, hey, we're going to meet with NBC and CBS tomorrow. Oh, why? Well, now that we got this, we want black people on your channel. We want writers, producers, directors, staff. We want. So now NBC's sitting there. They fucking buckled under. They did what they were asked to do by a couple of black leaders, not an outraged public, believe me. And now, instead of going, thank you, we'll be on our way, it's like, no, we're coming back tomorrow because now we found a new problem. Yeah. We want you to hire more black people as personalities on your shows, writers, directors, everything. It doesn't fucking end. Don't you people understand?
No,
it doesn't end.
We're in the minority.
Keep giving, and keep letting people's rights being taken away. And I don't just mean by black people, by anything, by any element, religious groups, anything. You will they will keep coming fucking back.
How fucking Olbermann embarrassed himself.
Yeah.
What kind of journalism is that? You're a fucking journalist? I know a black guy. I saw one once.
Just for the record.
What a fucking... You're a journalist? You can picture Cronkite saying that?
Just for the record.
I'll drink out of either fountain.
Did you hear what he did in that? He went to his boss behind closed doors to make sure Imus gets fired. And then he had to admit to a black guy that he, has a black friend.
Yeah.
A black
she co-hosts
replacement.
She hosts my show when I'm gone. When I'm on vacation in an all-white exclusive vacation land.
All right, here we go. Here's the montage of all the other talk shows and what they've said wrong. Keith Olbermann had to be the tattletale on this and say this to Jesse Jackson last night. Guys, by the way, dick jokes on the way. Don't worry. All right. All right. Jesus.
Don Imus was not alone among those who have made remarks like this. Let me go through a few names and then ask you a question in terms of momentum, in terms of fairness. Comments by people like Rush Limbaugh, who calls Senator Barack Obama and actress Halle Berry, quote, African Americans. Michael Savage, who asked whether the Voting Rights Acts intended to counteract racial discrimination at the ballot box was trying to, quote, put a Chad in every crack house. There's Neil Bortz, the other radio talker, who said the black Congresswoman Cynthia McKinney looked, quote, like a ghetto slut. Glenn Beck from CNN and ABC, who referred to the largely African-American survivors of Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans as, quote, scumbags, and who, when he interviewed the black Muslim Congressman Keith Ellison from Minnesota, said he felt like saying to him, sir, prove to me that you are not working with our enemies.
Can I ask you, I wonder why didn't disgusting, groveling Olbermann mention anybody in hip-hop or mention any black people.
He doesn't have the balls.
Why didn't what a groveling, terrified of black people fucking white guy that is. And that does not show 1 ounce of respect for black people. That is not the type of guy that hangs out with black guys and sits around and bullshits with them. That is not. He's the fucking cornball white guy in the office who wants the fucking black guys who are under him to respect him and think he's cool. You fucking jizz bucket.
Yep.
There you go.
Yelling? Hey, we got to take a break, but I just got to communicate from Imus's camp. Pretty close to Imus's camp these days. It's from Mark Chernoff, who obviously used to be the program director for FM.
Yeah, he left that job as our program director because he really was uncomfortable with our show and maybe getting in trouble.
Yeah, he didn't want the controversy.
Yeah,
I swear to God,
he's one of those PDs that really doesn't like controversy. So he left and went over to the Imus in the Morning show.
Well, he was doing both shows, and then he realized, I'm too old and been around too long. I don't really want to be involved with like Opie and Anthony.
Opie and Anthony. So I'll just stick with Imus.
He wished us well. He had nothing bad to say about us. He just thought, as far as his career goes, it would be better off if he just did Imus's show.
Yeah.
And now look, right?
Wait, what did the email say? Imus has been dragged out screaming the N-word.
Imagine. He writes, you guys are unbelievable. And, of course, we're talking to our fans as well right now.
Yeah, it's the fans. Man.
You guys are unbelievable. You've more than helped blow out the phones and website, and it's only the first day. Imus has been thanking you all morning, Opie. He's calling you his son.
That's cool.
I don't want to be known as Imus' son anymore, though.
Not the son of a racist.
No,
yeah, right? Who wants to be the son of a racist?
It was all fun and games, but...
I want to invite you to the ranch for our cross burning.
No, it's all right.
And what question did you...
Be very proud if you light the cross open this evening.
It was all...
Cool.
It was all fun and games until last week. Let's not continue with that storyline, Mr. Imus.
I just had I thought of one and I couldn't get it out.
Why?
Old sandwich mouth.
What was the question you asked?
What?
Who wants to be the son of a racist?
Yeah, who wants to be the son of a racist?
I just wanted to say your kid's better.
You asshole.
I couldn't get it out.
Yeah, that's a good one.
How does this sound? Grand Wizard Hughes.
No.
You like that?
No.
Someday, all this will be yours. The ranch, all the hoods.
He writes...
White sheets.
He continues, we'll still be doing it right through Imus' show tomorrow.
Greg Opie Imus. Greg Opie Imus. How does that sound? Pretty good, huh?
It has a
nice ring to it.
Certain ring to it, sure.
Yeah. Know how to make a noose?
He continues, we'll still be doing it right through Imus' show tomorrow, and I predict Imus' last show.
Oh, God, don't predict. You already predicted that he'd be gone from MSNBC.
I think CBS has no choice after fucking NBC and MSNBC doing what they had to do. So
come on, CBS. Hang in there, man.
We'll still be doing it right through Imus' show tomorrow, so any help tomorrow is more than appreciated. You guys are terrific, and we owe you a big debt of gratitude. Many thanks, Mark. So once again, if you're just waking up...
Oh, you said last show.
What?
You predicted his last show.
Well,
I think
on
Mark
MSNBC.
Wrote that.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, I misunderstood you.
Oh, yeah, you know what? I should have clarified. No, I just added a little bit to his email. But if you're just waking up, it's right on the pad data. Imus Radiothon, 877-877-6464. MSNBC, they were talking about integrity last night, and that's why they had to get rid of Imus. And that was just a mere hours before he was starting his radiothon for sick kids.
Yeah, I mean, if you had any fucking sense or morality, or this phony morality you have, if you had any real morality, it's their prerogative to fire or hire whoever the fuck they want. That's just the way it is. So if they really had this internal pressure to get rid of Imus, his suspension was slated for Monday. He was supposed to be on suspension. Why not wait until Monday and then announce, hey, we've decided even after his suspension we're not taking him back, and let him use your airwaves. Not for this hatred and hate speech that apparently he's up to, but raising money for great charities, something he's done for many years, and let him use your airwaves for that bit of good as a last gesture on your channel. So the last thing that Imus could have done on MSNBC was raise money for sick kids and dying children, and instead hours beforehand, you fire him.
Yeah.
And let less people contribute money.
And MSNBC knows his character. They know what he's all about.
Of course.
He would have done the right thing. He wouldn't have done anything too crazy.
Of course not.
He would have raised money for sick kids. That's what he would have done.
Worried about shit, and they could have waited till 10 o'clock Friday morning.
And if it was all about separating themselves from Imus, then why do they spend the whole time that he would have been live on MSNBC talking about how they fired him?
Yeah, that time could have been used raising money.
Why don't you separate? But you couldn't separate now, could you? Because it was all about the ratings. You know, everyone is talking about Imus, and it's really hot. So, of course, you couldn't help yourselves, and you made sure you did nothing but Imus coverage all morning long because people were tuning in to see.
A disgrace. They're fucking losers. Disgrace.
So the phone number is right on the pad data, 877-877-6464. Tell them Opie and Anthony sent you.
Asking our listeners to really, come to the table on this one and help out. Be great.
Oh, wait. As we go to break here, this was just moments ago. Just moments ago.
I want to once again thank Opie and Anthony because, they get it. They always have got it.
Absolutely.
They should have never been fired when they did get fired.
Nope.
And a lot of people understand that. And but they're back, and I'm happy they are. And they've been very supportive about all this morning. And I love Opie to death. And they've been very supportive of me. And they know I appreciate it. We all do.
God,
that's cool.
Older white DJs love me. What's that about?
They're homosexual.
Don't call Imus a homosexual.
He's a homosexual. He has a shaggy do, and he likes Ope's young, firm body. I don't blame Imus. Don and I are in cahoots on that one.
Oh, Jesus. You can't call Imus a homosexual. He's a married man to a beautiful lady.
A very beautiful beard. He is
not a beard.
He's not even just a homosexual. He's in waiting. He's a homosexual
in
waiting for young Greg.
That old queen.
All right, thanks. Bye. One of the bosses from way upstairs saying he's never been more proud of us.
Oh, wow.
And
in this
Jimmy,
building?
Huh? No.
Yes.
Yeah. That was one of the flying brothers saying you guys are unbelievable for what you're doing and stepping up like you're doing today. See, we don't like to be predictable on this show.
It's not a great cause, and it's showing that MSNBC are being idiots as far as the situation goes, and it's showing that our listeners really know how to come to the table when it's needed to support a good cause. Yeah, and Imus.
We're in this for the long haul. I mean, it's we said it a while ago. It's a lifestyle. This show. It's not just a goofy radio show. Yeah, we try to have fun and do dick jokes and all that, but we also hang with everybody. We get together a lot, and we also could get together for a real cause every once in a while too.
Yeah,
we could beat up other DJs when that's important. But right now, this is really important. So, what did he say in the beginning of the clip? I couldn't really understand that we were supporting.
We never should have got thrown off the radio to begin with.
Oh, he said that?
Yeah.
They never should have got fired when they
did. I just want to hear
fired.
the first part again.
I want to once again thank Opie and Anthony because, they get it. They always have got it.
Absolutely.
They should have never been fired when they did get fired.
Nope.
Yeah. And a lot of people understand that. And but they're back, and I'm happy they are. And
right. Cool. Very cool. See,
I don't like that guy.
I think he said that we get it. We understand this whole thing. Yeah, we certainly do. It happened to us twice.
It's just, having been in that situation a couple of times now, we understand what that's like to go through, and especially when it's a situation where the media takes a hold of something and really runs with it, and you end up screwed. And it's that doubt, that not knowing about your own future. It gives you such a horrid feeling inside. And just to know that that's what he's going through right now is really like, ugh. Ugh. And believe me, it's not the goddamn Rutgers team. For all this stuff they're saying that the poor girls, they're going through everything. They're not. It's like the guy that wrote the article there that we just read. They're probably snapping their fingers to Snoop music where they're talking about hoes and stuff.
Right.
I don't think they were hurt by this until people told them they were supposed to be hurt by this.
And also, Imus is still going to meet with them. God bless him, because I would be like, you know, I
know, a little fed up at that point, but
I would be like, you know, whatever now. And shit, what was the other thought? It was
that may help him on radio. Like, not that he's doing it for that reason, but that may keep him on radio. Is the meeting with them, and I think he would meet with them anyway. He seems pretty sincere.
He would. That's one thing too. You know, we could detect phonies a mile away. Believe me. And this really looks sincere on Imos's part, and I would definitely say that this is he's absolutely sorry for what he said, and not just to save a job. And you know, the guy's not.
And it comes from a reliable source. Imus walking around, you know, the hallways of where he broadcasts from.
Yeah,
he's been heard saying a couple times, "Man, I don't want to go out this way."
No.
He's at the end of his career. He knows that. Although I think he just re-upped with CBS.
I'll be on the radio till he's 150.
But he's like, man,
is he 150?
I don't want to go out this way. I think he's going to start fighting back. You watch.
Yeah.
You watch. I mean, unfortunately, I hope CBS does the right thing. I don't really have much confidence in that.
I don't know. They might, man.
There's the douche.
I hope so.
Steve Kappas, NBC News president.
Yeah, look at
That's
his lip.
hysterical. You pointed at your TV.
Yeah.
At the same time, I was looking at mine, and it was Joel Hollander. Right when you said, "There's the douche." I'm like, "What the hell are you?"
Someone related to him just called us live on the show, and he even said, "I don't care that you're in the middle of a broadcast. I need to say this right now. I've never been more proud of you guys." I wish I could have put that on the air.
That's cool.
All right.
Steve Kappas has juicy, dick-sucking lips. I am not a homosexual, nor am I inclined to homosexuality.
Right.
But Steve Kappas has a mouth like a 10-year-old's pussy. I don't know if I can say that on terrestrial radio.
No,
you can't.
Hey, what happened to the pad data? Did we go off the air or so?
What happened?
We need that phone number up there.
Yeah, keep the number up there.
I can't hear you. All right, we'll figure that out. But
Danny.
But even if you have $1, it just shows a lot. You know, give them a call, 877-877-6464.
Danny can't spell a phone number.
Oh, there it is.
EIGH.
Imus Radiothon. It's helping sick kids for the next 2 days. This was scheduled, and that's one reason why CBS, they understand the overall picture. They're like, well, it would be smart to suspend the guy immediately, but they knew this radiothon was happening. That was the reason they kept him on the air. And he's been doing it for 18 years. He's doing it for maybe I don't know. Does he go off the air now? Or soon? I'm sure they'll keep taking donations, though.
Yeah,
they
absolutely.
do it 24 hours. I think Benigno, who I love, is after Imus.
Yeah, they'll keep going with this. So
keep the phones ringing and tell them you're calling from the Opie and Anthony show. It also shows that we do some good stuff with this show.
You said doo-doo.
Well, yeah. But the media likes to portray us as just a bunch of douches that do dick jokes. No.
I just did a doo-doo joke.
Did you say doo-doo?
Yeah.
You're offending German Americans.
Ja. Leichen.
All right.
Das gut, ja.
You know what? Maybe we'll do something different next.
Whoa.
Maybe.
You're shaking your paper. What's on it?
What have you got?
Well, we go to break with this. That Newsday article's pretty good, too. Jessica from Jersey. Hey, guys, love you. My brother's over in Iraq fighting a war that this administration bills as a fight for our freedom, which should include freedom of speech. And this is how we thank him? Bullshit. It makes me sick. Thanks for all you're doing on this one. Jessica from Jersey. All right. We'll be back.
Welcome to the Opie and Anthony. Ooh, it's in my shoes. Ramon, clean this up.
It's the Opie and Anthony show. I guess we made the Time magazine article that's coming out.
Which one does it say that I called a goer? Remember that?
Imus is on the cover. I don't know when it hits newsstands, and we got an advance copy. And basically they say that if you and I or Man Douche had made the nappy-headed comment, it wouldn't have been a blip because future presidents do not do cable news interviews with Opie and Anthony and Man Douche.
Man Douche.
Anyway,
the New York radio message board, the mecca of all radio message boards, has a little thread going on it about Opie and Anthony devote their show to defend Imus. And then somebody posts, in the interest of full disclosure, it should be noted that O&A fully credited Imus for helping them get employed again at CBS Radio.
No, not
so they
fully.
do owe him. It wasn't a fully. It wasn't like Imus was involved in any negotiation to get us back. He said he would love to have us back, and if he mentioned things to higher ups, that's great. That's one thing. But in the end, it all came down to the bigwigs wanting to hire us.
They needed us.
They needed us. Absolutely. They needed us after Roth. I mean, come on. Who else were they getting? We're the last desperate move, for Christ's sake. But then he points out that it was nice, though, that they're encouraging their listeners to donate. Yeah, okay. I'm sure that thread will grow into a Opie and Anthony suck dick thread.
Well, they always end up that way.
Message boards are wonderful.
What do you want to do? What do you want to do? What do you want to do?
What's your take on it, Frank, the radio critic?
I want to pet. He likes. Oh, Frank likes us.
I know, but he's bashing Imus now. He's
Is he really?
He's so typical of like what everyone is saying, what guilt-ridden white people are saying. It's like out of a textbook of guilty white people, what he's saying about Imus, that he should be fired, that this is horrible, what we've done to these poor African-American athletes, and, it's just the same riot act read over and over again.
What do I want to do? I want to pet Mikey the chimp on his little head.
Where is Mikey?
Looks like maybe we're starting for early next week. We're going to try to get him in. They contacted me.
You worked with little Mikey?
I did, and he loved me. They said he bonded with me faster than anybody. He grabbed me by the hand and he ran me around. And they had to actually ask me to leave the area when he was doing stuff with other people.
Because he was distracted with little Jimmy?
Yeah, he wouldn't stop playing with me. He would always come over to me.
How old's Mikey now?
I don't know. He's probably 30 and he's got a cigar.
Big white beard.
Yeah, he likes to fuck people and he just remembered me. No, he was he's in diapers as he
nothing cuter than a little chimp in diapers. Yeah, it's like a little retarded kid that you walk around with.
But you put him on your foot, he sits on your foot and you bounce your foot up and down. That's giving him a little ride and that means he likes you. And then he grabbed me with his little monkey hands and ran me in circles.
I saw a Discovery Channel thing the other day, though, that was frightening, and they just talked about how these chimpanzees are running wild and what they do out in the wild to each other, and what happens when humans get in the way. And they showed that guy that was giving Mo, his chimp Mo, who was staying at this refuge, a birthday cake. And remember that guy? He got his fingers ripped off, and they went into detail and actually showed the guy's face. It ripped his face off. Yeah. The chimp ripped his nose and cheek and everything.
Like you would peel an orange.
Yeah. And ripped his hands off and his fingers on another hand.
It bit him, right?
And then, it was just tearing him apart. And then went for the testicles, because apparently they go for the testicles, rip them off, and then get them as far away from the person or a chimp that they're attacking as possible. It's like some kind of you're not going to mate, I'm taking away your bloodline is pretty much it.
So,
creepy.
This guy, is he any better now, or is he still a mess?
Oh, he's a fucking mess.
Any better?
How are you better after a chimp rips your balls off and eats your face?
Good point. Well, then again, it's all up from there.
You've reached bottom when that happens. Yeah. But Mikey is supposed to come in?
Yeah, I want Mikey, and they contacted me, and they use him for movies and stuff.
I've never because I think they're adorable, and I've never actually been able to pet a little chimp.
I held him. I was carrying him.
Yeah.
He was sitting on my lap for a scene, but he was such a bad boy. He was so poorly behaved.
Was he?
At one point, he just ran around. They had to go chase him for 20 minutes.
All rambunctious, like a little kid.
Yeah, then he laid with me for a while, and he started crawling up on my feet.
Fuck him.
No, he wouldn't. He had a diaper. I fingered his little duty butt.
That's the little duty butt.
When they change him, it's the funniest thing. They have to change him and wipe his ass. So they stand him up, and he puts his chimp foot against the wall, and they pull his diaper off. It's so fucking... Hold his bottle, drinking, all right, go ahead, clean it.
Clean my ass. Oh, that's funny.
It's like being an old person.
Jimmy, you're getting laughs out there. You're getting quiet laughs up.
Oh,
they're a little shy with their laughs today. Oh, by the way, this just in, I'm going to be butt rubbing with Imus.
Oh, yeah, stealing Jimmy's bit.
Yeah, but I figure it's worth it.
Let's do some butt rubbing.
And me and the I-Man will be rubbing naked butts.
Me and my boy, my son.
You gotta send him a Father's Day card and stuff.
How the fuck did that happen?
That'd be cool.
I went to a dumb book signing and I can't get rid of them now.
Was there a long line of people?
I waited online. I just waited. I was the last person online. I said, you know what? I'm just going to wait this out. I'm not going to go to the front of the line.
Of all the good times, bad times we had, I just want to tell you, I love you, Dad. Thank you, Opie.
Send him a little Father's Day card.
You guys can sit there looking at Cats in the Cradle.
Yeah.
All right. Hey,
The boy was just like me.
Right.
Racist. Teasing like Imus.
I want Mikey the Chimp to shit in his stupid cowboy hat.
No.
That's my goal, for Mikey to take a watery, I ate food that's not made from primate body shit into Imus's cowboy hat.
No. We got some shy guys out there. They're laughing, but very, very
sweet.
quietly.
Yeah.
See, they're now waving.
Who's the guy with the glasses? Where do I know you from?
He's been around.
I'm the Improv in the West Palm Beach show.
Oh, cool. Okay, I know you.
Wait, we met you down in West Palm, too?
Yeah, I was the dullard.
What?
I was the dullard.
That's right. He came into the studio. He was the dullard.
Oh, yeah. Not
dullard.
Yes, we thought that he was.
Oh, I thought that was so important that he needs a mic. Are you crazy? He said he's the dullard.
Exactly.
Oh, wait, I'm not allowed to make fun of E-Rock. E-Rock, that was a good move. You're on top of things
No,
today.
E-Rock
thought
that the guy was carrying
sorry.
first baseman's mitts, and then he realized that they were just the ears. Jesus, sir.
Yeah.
Those are massive.
That's all right.
I can't be.
Clark Gable had big ears.
I'm not allowed to be mean to E-Rock until next Tuesday.
Why?
I said I'd be nice if he rubbed your butt, Jimmy.
Oh, I
You
didn't
don't have to, though.
I have to. I got to keep my word. Geek Squad perv tries to record customer showering.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
trying to get slowly back into
the Geek Squad. Those little Volkswagen driving will help you hook up your computer, guys.
I get messages from those scumbags all the time.
Do ya?
Yeah, I should keep my shower on.
Instead of fixing a broken computer, today a technician is accused of taping a young woman taking a shower in her own home. The suspect is under arrest, but the family is suing his employer, Best Buy. KCAL9's Mark Coogan live right now in the Miracle Mile with more on this for us. Mark?
David D., this family today filed an invasion of privacy lawsuit against the electronics chain Best Buy and also the Geek Squad, the organization that fixes computers, on grounds that a technician from the Geek Squad allegedly came over to fix a computer but instead secretly recorded a 22-year-old woman taking a shower. According to the lawsuit and the attorney, Gloria Allred, representing the family called on the Geek Squad to come over and fix 2 computers last March, but instead the technician got into the bathroom and planted his cell phone in there, which takes video recordings, and pressed the record button.
He's probably going to get in trouble at work.
Yeah, he could. Sorry, that's very funny. I was reading, and then I realized what you said, and it's very funny. He's gonna get in trouble at work.
How'd they catch him?
You know, though, you walk into a house, there's some hot girl, and she's going to take a shower? When you got a service guy over the house?
Yeah.
That's insanity.
It really is.
Because the guy that's got the switch. We talk about the switch.
The perv switch.
The perv switch. Some people can control it. You just look and go, that's a hot chick. She's in the shower right now. And then you use your mental imagery and fantasy to maybe use it later on while you crank one out. But this guy was like, she's in the shower. I got to record the naked broad. I'm off which camera? It's going to pal talk. What is he doing?
He's going to boom mic over the shower.
Geek Squad Felon 01. His camera over the top of a shower curtain.
Well, you want to hear from the victim?
All steamy.
Well, how'd she catch him? What'd she say?
Oh, let's find out.
I had went into the shower to take my shower, and then when I came out, I noticed it was behind the sink, the phone. And then I looked at it, and it was the little red dot was recording.
So Sarah called on her sister Kelly.
He's a hack. He's part of the Geek Squad. That's the best you could come up with.
Best you could do.
Why did he fucking put the red light on? He should have taped over it like I do.
Of course, everyone knows that.
Called on her sister Kelly, who removed the memory chip from the phone.
I was just thinking, if I could take the memory out of the phone, then I wouldn't have to see, my sister on the internet or him making money off my sister in the restroom.
Together, the sisters took the memory chip to a phone store.
When we got to the Verizon store, we let them know we wanted to see what was on the chip, so they gave us another phone, and then he got to wherever the file was at, and then he just let me view the files by myself.
I'll need this chip for a while.
I was embarrassed. I didn't even want to look at it anymore. Just whatever I did see, I didn't want to see the rest.
Now, by this time, the mother of these resourceful sisters had called the police, and the mother stalled the technician at the house until police came and arrested the man. He's due in court in Pomona next month.
What was he doing while they were off at the Verizon store?
Yeah.
He's not wondering, where's my phone? These two are going to the store. Where's my memory chip?
Where's my memory chip, my phone? The mother stalled her.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a bath.
Yeah.
Okay, where's my camera phone?
I have to shit. He's trying to install a toilet cam over a bucket and make it look like a toilet.
Hey, it's been brought to our attention by a bunch of listeners on Instant Feedback that we're on Drudge Report.
Oh, yeah?
Update 821. They've been just following the Imus show all day today on Drudge.
Yeah.
And Update 821, there's a quote from Imus.
Yeah, he's kind of... I think he's fighting back a bit. Like that.
Well, yeah. The headline is, when is Reverend Al going to apologize to the Duke lacrosse players?
Yeah, well...
But 8:21 a.m. I want to thank Opie and Anthony. I love them, and I love what they do. I know they offend people perhaps more than I do. They're good, loyal guys. Even Howard Stern hasn't been horrible. Although, if you read this Stern show summary, it seems like Stern still has his claws out against his longtime nemesis. So there you go.
Whining about him, yeah.
You know, he should have said that to Sharpton. I wish Imus would have said that to Sharpton. Like, when are you going to... Oh, because the Duke lacrosse players hadn't been...
It just hit.
Okay, yeah.
It hit like the next day, Jimmy, unfortunately.
I know.
That would have... Reverend Al would have canceled that exchange. Guaranteed.
Despite the controversy, Imus says contributions for the Tomorrow's Children Fund and the Imus Ranch are way, way up compared to this time in the show last year, which is significant because the money's more important this year than ever. He added, these bastards went after me, they got me, but they didn't catch me asleep. Sounds like he's getting a little pissed.
Oh, he should be furious.
Look at, he's getting pissed. That's all right. Good. I hope they break all the records.
Yeah, the phone number's up on our pad data. 877-877-6464. He's raising money for sick kids today and tomorrow, and I'm thinking tomorrow might be his last show for a while.
I don't know if CBS will do it. I'm
hoping not.
I know.
All right, let's say hi to Vince. He's black. He's from Mississippi. He's on the Opie and Anthony show. Vince, what's up?
Hey, how you doing, Opie? Hey, I've been listening to you guys for about 2 years. I agree with a lot of things you're saying, but it sounds like the black races, black people are being blamed. The black people don't really have the power. You know what I mean?
No, that was a while. You know something? I know what you're saying because I've heard this argument before, and this is why a lot of black leaders and reverends and whatnot will say that blacks are incapable of being racist because they don't have the power base to be racist. And that's an excuse they use sometimes as to why they can't be called out on certain things. But the fact of the matter is that might have washed years ago. The black people in this day and age, in this country, have a lot more power than they're letting on to. They know it. White people know it. But for some reason... no one really wants to say it, but through example, you see that black people in 2007 and in the past couple of years, as a matter of fact, have more power than they've ever had before in such a short period of time.
Vince, are you saying that because white people technically run NBC and MSNBC and stuff?
No, I'm just saying, as far as the black race, I'm not talking about, the so-called leaders, which I think they do it for themselves, not for the race.
What type of power would the black people find ideal? Like what? And like you said, not the leaders, just the black people. What type of power base do you guys want?
Well, see, this is the thing, like this Imus issue. If you talk within the black community, a lot of the people don't even know about or don't even care about it.
Exactly.
It's just a few that's in the spotlight. Whatever agenda that they can put their name out, they will attach to.
Right.
But as far as the, I'm a black guy. What's important to me is my family. Keeping the bills paid, doing a good job.
Yes, see, now this is the majority of black guys. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like this, this isn't what Reverend Al and Jesse Jackson portray, because a downtrodden, stepped on black man is what gives them power and a job. The second people start seeing that black people in this country have opportunity, have jobs, have families that they care about, and go to work to support, their gig is over. They need people of their own race to be victimized. And you, my friend, are an enemy for Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson. They don't like seeing people like you that have a family, responsibility, take care of their bills, their kids, because it puts them out of work. They need victims.
Yeah, and the whole division, the whole division thing, it makes it worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rather than trying to come together, trying to, you give words power anyway by saying, "Oh, I'm so hurt because of this, because of that." Words are word. I heard what Imus said. I wasn't offended by it.
If you're hanging out at a party and a black girl is sitting there and, you're just throwing shit back and forth at each other, and some girl says something and a guy will say, "Shut up, ho," or something, is she going to be so hurt that it's going to affect her for the rest of her life? Or is it just commonplace?
No, she's not going to be affected that way. And see, that's what I'm talking about. This thing is media driven and all of this, and Imus loses his job over it. I don't know what the situation was or who was rubbed the wrong way, but those girls, I bet someone, like you say, told them that they should be sad. They should be this,
I believe that too.
Yeah, that they should be upset and come out with a profound speech that shows how hurt and damaged this makes all of them. It's ridiculous. The words thrown around at parties and in school, I'm sure they've heard it before, and most of the time, like Patrice said, they turn around and go, "Oh, no, you didn't. Did you just call me?" Maybe the guy will get a smack in his face. But as far as being scarred for the rest of your life, just stop with the drama.
Yeah.
Well, I agree with you there, Vince, as far as that's concerned.
Yeah, like I say, love the show. I mean, I'm pretty objective when it comes.
I thought you were going to stop there and say you're pretty.
Yeah, well, Jimmy wasn't even paying attention, unfortunately.
I'm sorry, I'm reading the Imus article.
You said he's pretty objective. I thought he was going to stop at pretty, like Ali.
Oh,
I'm pretty.
Oh, I'm objective. Oh, thank you, Vince. I'm sorry, but I was just reading the Imus thing.
Yeah, I think the black fans have to get a group together. I was thinking about that. You got the Pest out west, you got the regular Pest, you got these Pests.
What walk-in closet can they meet in?
Exactly.
Or maybe not even a walk-in.
Exactly.
Hey, Vince, thanks a lot, man.
Quartet.
Right. Yeah. All right, sir.
Bye. See, it's nice to have a rational fucking discussion. It really is. And the guy wasn't completely agreeing with us or anything. It's nice to have a nice back and forth.
And I really believe... Wow, the phone's just... They've been doing that all morning. I mean, people want to talk about this. We just lost everybody.
I can't wait to hear the Wiki phone song on Ron and Fez.
Yeah.
What's the Wiki phone song?
Oh, it's when the phones break. They play a funny little tune that one of the listeners made for him.
Good. All right, they pop back. I would love to know how many people called during our show today. Morris, maybe you could do that for us, or whoever's working for Morris today. He made a good point. I really do believe that the women's basketball team were brought into an office and had to be told why this is really bad.
They were briefed.
And I think they fell just short. I think they really needed one of those women to cry on TV.
If they started crying.
You got one tear from the coach, but I think they really were going for one of these basketball players to actually just break down and cry. And that would have just...
put it over the top.
Good night, Johnny.
Right there.
But they couldn't... they didn't get that. They didn't get that moment. Huh?
Did you see in that transcript, Don Imus, did you read this before? If you did earlier, where it says, when will Al Sharpton be apologizing to them?
Oh, yeah.
Talking about that. And then... his guest says, "I'm unaware of such a press conference," and Imus just went, "I'll be darned." I could see the sarcasm there. I'm unaware of such a press conference.
Yeah,
I don't think that's going to be happening against the Duke lacrosse players.
I think he's going to have to deal with some things now.
I like seeing him getting a little spunk back.
I like it,
and kind of talking on the air about this. Good for him.
Let's say hi to Mike in South Carolina. Mike.
Hey there, Mike.
Hey, guys. How y'all doing?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, I just called in at the Imus Marathon there, and the person I talked to after I donated the money said that they're ahead of schedule right now with their funding compared to last year, because it seems like every other person calling in is a O&A listener.
There you go. That's great,
and
man.
They're very grateful to y'all for putting the pad data up there. And they're busy as hell right now.
You know, our listeners are a bunch of scumbags, but I tell you, they sure can come to the table when need be.
They'll blow it somehow, but just not.
Oh, they will. They'll completely ruin this, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, y'all allow me to masturbate about every other day, so you got to give back somehow.
Yeah.
To Jimmy,
y'all
right?
Be careful now.
Yeah, of course.
All right, of course. Thank you. See, we don't hate every radio show. Coke Logic.
Yeah. I'm a be pimpin'. I don't be slippin'. When it comes down to these hoes, I don't love them. We don't cuff them. Man, that's just the way it goes. I pull up in the Phantom. All the ladies think handsome. Jewelry shining. I stay stuntin'. That's why these niggas can't stand them. I'm a chick magnet. And anything fine, I'm bagging it. And if she got a man, I don't care. 10 toes, and I want to be, because I got to have it.
Hey, that's all right. Coke Logic.
Yeah.
With another ditty.
See, Imus can get away with it like that.
Yeah. That was a character.
Rapping.
It's okay if you use characters.
Yeah.
Jimmy, what do you got over there?
No, I'm just... Who's... I wish Imus had been a little more annoyed when he was on Sharpton's show.
Yeah.
Because I think Sharpton is so ripe to be picked apart and destroyed. Who's Harold Ford Jr.? Imus said he's been disgraceful in his lack of support. I endured death threats to endorse him. It's unfortunate that he has no courage.
Wow.
Who's Harold Ford Jr.? Is he a congressman or something?
I really don't know.
That is great to hear Imus saying stuff like that, though. Good for him.
And you see, the radio is the much bigger part of his gig. He said we have millions on the radio.
Yeah, absolutely.
MSNBC had a few 100,000, so I'm hoping that the radio stays.
I'm so hoping.
According to Wikipedia, Harold Ford Jr. is the current chairman of the Democratic Leadership Council. As a former member of the U.S. House of Representatives from Tennessee.
And from what I understand, a flaming homosexual? No?
What?
Wikipedia is always wrong.
Yeah, I know. There's always that
Wikipedia.
There's always that last one.
Some goofball has to throw some false information in there. Wikipedia, indeed.
All right, why don't we take a break? We'll do a little line of the day and then wrap up a little bit.
Can I say thank you to whoever sent me this advanced copy of this Black Sabbath book? Thank you very much. Somebody sent me to it. I just wanted to say thank you. It was received and appreciated.
Hey, let's not forget we're doing our first O&A Traveling Virus Comedy Tour Saturday.
How can we forget?
You get the day wrong, though. It's Saturday.
Saturday.
Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, The Joint.
You know what I love about this? What? It's all in one place, like the hotel, the press conference, the venue. Like, we don't got to go driving around in the van with Kenny.
Yeah. It better be.
We're almost there. Buckle up. We could get into a crash.
And the good news is I'm bringing my girlfriend, so I won't get to fuck any hookers.
Oh, that sucks, Jimmy.
Yeah,
I'm sorry to hear that.
God.
I know you look forward to that.
You said something the other day. Something came out. Your soon-to-be ex-girlfriend. Was there a problem? Because people like to keep tabs on you and your relationship.
We were fighting.
Especially me. Because I'm very fond of your girlfriend, and I want to know if I'm ever going to see her again, at least in one piece.
Jimmy, you don't mind they have polls out there.
How long will last? No, it's great. The fans care. I mean, they know they're involved.
We really want to see this work, Jimmy.
Yes.
We made up. We were fighting.
Well, what were you fighting about this time? Is personal.
It's hard to explain, to be honest with you. We get into the weirdest fucking things. It's like I don't know where it started. She was away for a couple of days for work, and she came back, and she had like a weird weekend, and I was cranky because of the Imus thing. I came home.
Oh boy!
And it just was like one of those fucking vibes.
Yeah.
But she's really good.
Did she bring a black guy home with her?
Yes! And she said this.
I was cranky about the Imus thing. She brought in a black guy.
I said, honey, I don't want you to fuck him in front of me. And she said, this is going to help us, Jimmy. Just go to the store for me for an hour.
A lot of quiet laughs out there, Jimmy.
She's pretty good when
she's keeping track for you.
She admits when she fucks up. Like, she's really good. She's better at that than I am. Like, she'll say, look, I'm really sorry. That was shitty. I love you very much.
I used to do that to diffuse a situation when someone was being irrational, too.
Wait.
Apologize.
Oh, I see.
Yes, I'm sorry. It must have been my fault. Grit my teeth. Go. It wasn't my fucking fault. And then have to just to make it so I could watch TV in peace.
No, this one was on her. Like she knew it too. This was she.
Sure, it was, Jimmy.
It was.
No, was it?
Yes. Like she walked.
I'll always take her side
Here's
because
what
she's
happened.
sweet. You're the sweetest boy, but she's a sweet girl.
Here's what happened. It was her fault. She walked in. I'm poking this girl in the shitter. She goes to me, "You're not even wearing a condom?"
All right, the gall.
And I say to her, "Don't you knock."
Okay. All right, you're in the right.
Rudeness.
That is rude.
Was that the root of this? So no, we made up. We're fly. I didn't want to go to Vegas without her. I mean,
yeah, you don't want to.
How do you not love a girl who blows you and then goes, "My breath smells like
and then blows the cum breath in your face?
Abominable.
Hysterical.
It's abominable.
Hysterical.
Hilarious people. Smells bleachy.
Don't forget about the press conference when we're in Vegas Saturday afternoon by the pool. We'll be hanging. Doing the thing. All right. All right. We'll do line of the day. Maybe we'll talk to these guys a little bit. You having a good time, kinda?
Yeah.
All right. You'll have to come back when we go back to dick jokes and Jimmy touching butts with other naked
men.
Oh, it won't be long now.
Wow, the guy in the Mets uniform, very excited. Two fists in the air like, yes.
Fucking, he looks like fucking Gilbert Gottfried, but kind of fat and not like him at all.
He's squinty.
All right.
Oh, cool. What black guy's on?
Ixnay.
No.
Onte itacre I say is they I gay.
We'll explain to you, Jimmy, in private.
It's like punch sound, woman scream, Opie and Anthony.
That's right.
Opie and Anthony.
I got to go buy a splitter so me and my girl can watch the same movie on a plane.
Oh, that's cute.
It's a video I took of a girl slobbering all over my prick, and I want to show my best girl and other people in the cabin. Look what she don't do right.
Can we go home early today?
I have to.
We actually have to.
I got a flight at 11:05.
There's I gotta get my hair did, and then packing. Got to pack for a big trip. Going to Vegas.
Actually, we got to make a very important phone call in a few minutes.
Very important phone call.
Oh no, minus time today. They've been keeping track of when we go long, and they also keep track when we go.
Right,
well, it's going to be minus time. What can we tell you?
There's going to be minus time every once in a while.
Line of the day, Than.
All right, line of the day.
Don't point at anybody, Danny. You point.
One moment. Stretch. Jimmy, show your ass.
What about this whole Imus thing?
Well, if you look at the drudgery report, it has transcripts of his...
How do you do that so well?
It's my slow motion talk.
I know that, but when I do it, I just sound like Buffalo Bill.
Would you?
Oh, yeah, you're good.
Thank you.
I should go to supper tonight with my girl in Vegas. Ooh, yeah, maybe we'll go get the strip club buffet.
Oh, isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, eat some lobster. Daddy's gonna go get a fucking lump put in his pants. I'm gonna come out. I spilled chowder on my pants. Let's go home. You sit here and eat the lobster. The $10 lobster. Daddy's gonna go get a lump put in his pants. Daddy's gonna get a tumor on his thigh. You know what I mean.
All right, listen, don't forget to donate to Imus's little radiothon, please. The number's up on the pad data. 877-877-6464. Even just $1 to show your support that you're into sick kids getting a little better.
Yeah.
And you could also donate online. WFAN.com. There's a radiothon banner, okay?
Wouldn't it be funny if Imus had just snapped and every time someone donated less than 10,000, Imus would say, "What are you, a Jew?" and hang up on them.
That would be great. Hey, line of the day brought to you by BowDogFight.com's upcoming pay-per-view Clash of the Nations. If you can't make the Las Vegas Virus Tour on the 14th...
You can make that.
Then make sure to catch this showdown of the world's most skilled mixed martial arts fighters. For more info, check out BowDogFight.com/PPV. Here's a runner-up line of the day.
If you want a supermodel, you get a white woman together with a black guy. And forget about it. They spit out supermodels.
With my luck, though, I'd have Nell Carter with big blotchy white spots.
There's no... That's funny.
Very good.
Oh, well, look at Jimmy. He's not feeling it.
Jimmy, what's wrong?
I was okay. I know the guys work very hard behind this.
Yes. No, they don't.
Oh, boy.
Fallacy.
Something like that.
Of course they do. I'm teasing.
I think it's me today. Oh, fuck. No, of course not. Why would it be? Here's your line of the day.
Here
comes. Line?
Line of the day. Line of the day. E-Rock's plump. Who does ass remind me? It's almost J-Lo. You give me that fucking delicious J-Lo ass.
He's more like Jello. I remember the rule. Sorry. Take a nap.
All right, now?
Take a nap. Wake up. I remembered the rule of getting line of the day. Just make fun of E-Rock, and you'll be line of the day.
You suck.
So I was out for a week.
That's all you got to do.
No, I've been out for over a month and a half. Trust me, I'm keeping track.
That's it.
All right, let's say hi to Mike in Indiana. Mike, what's going on?
Hey, man.
Hey, Mike, what do you say, Bill?
Paint each other up, me and you.
Yeah, you guys are doing great, man. You guys are actually grabbing your balls and making a stand.
Grabbing each other's balls, then, Mike.
Nobody else is going to do that for them.
Thank you. That's right. We're so
nobody
brave.
else will do that shit for them, and it's just, it's sad. The average white guy, we can't pull out our trump cards. You know what I mean?
Nah, we got to pull out our credit cards.
That's right. And our PBA cards.
Exactly.
PBA cards.
I think I could be wrong. I think it was like last week when you guys said
it was me.
It's called convenient discrimination or the convenient racism.
I said
something
that.
like that.
Yes, Jimmy said that. I don't know.
That was right.
Yeah, I said that.
Absolutely.
I've blogged about it.
Yes.
Lying.
Well, man, I just think you guys are doing a great job. I like the show. I'm going to continue to listen, and hey, man, have a good one.
Thank you.
Well, why do you think we're doing a good job, Mike? I don't get your point.
Huh?
Why do you think we're doing a good job? I don't get your point.
Well, the point is...
Thank you.
Here it comes.
Had to happen.
Uh-oh. MSNBC just mentioned you. Audio is coming right now. What did they say?
What happened?
Hopefully our new hires.
Oh, no.
I want to say we love MSNBC.
Oh, my God. What the fuck?
What happened?
How bad is it? MSNBC is giving us a thumbs up?
No.
Yeah, it's good.
What? Why?
We'll be the judges of that.
I know.
We might have to start liking MSNBC.
No, we won't.
Watch how we turn.
Well, maybe the dirty racist had to go, and maybe they need a new morning show. Maybe piggish Mr. Imus.
Imus who?
What'd they say? Sammykins, did you give him that? Yeah. Sam.
Well, in fact, yesterday on Opie and Anthony, which is another radio show that isn't exactly known for being shy and retiring, Joe, staffers read out loud from hip-hop lyrics, and they claim that what Don Imus said is no worse than what we hear on the radio every day from the music industry. Is that a fair point?
Well, that's a fair point, and it really does have to stop. I mean, I think those people who are fortunate...
Fuck, I think we started the rap lyric thing. I know that was pretty obvious, but we hit on it very early yesterday, and it's all over the place today.
Read that.
Good.
Wow. I don't like that.
Look at us being intelligent.
That's got to end.
I think it was
Immediately.
That was nice of her to give us a little bit of credit.
Yeah.
She said it was a fair point. And tomorrow I'm going to read Country and have white people shut down again.
Hey, now they decide to laugh. Fuck
I know.
you.
Where were you 6 hours ago?
Jesus. Sitting on your hands.
That's been a tense day. They were trying to be respectful of the somber mood. And I don't like the fact that they made the half-black gentleman sit alone while all these white people sit behind him. I apologize, sir.
Hey, at least they gave him the front seat.
That's a good point. In honor of Imus's insensitive remarks.
Oh, yeah. We want him front and center today.
That's right, so we can watch him.
So we can point and laugh and make sure he doesn't steal anything around this place.
That guy behind you in the fucking yellow flannel.
Fine young man.
He's a creep. He's a creep.
Oh, that guy? Yeah,
The
he's
guy
a
behind
creep.
him with the flannel and the glasses.
Hey, the laughs are still coming, so don't say we stretched to get to 11.
Yeah.
You bastards.
That's right.
I got to get out of here.
Yeah, we
Me
got
too.
We got to make a phone call.
And tell Les, by the way, I'm tired of this shit.
He doesn't even know who you are.
I know that. That's why.
That hurts. Jimmy, I was kidding.
I met Nessman.
Actually, you know what? I know he knows who you are.
He's very nice
because
man.
you, Anthony, and myself now have little caricatures at that steak joint that we all went to.
The Palms.
Yep. The Palms.
I have not seen it.
Supposedly they put up little caricatures of
I'm going to
us.
fucking bring a date.
your
I got
head's-
to find a chick to go with me to the Palms restaurant.
But you could bring your girlfriend.
Make sure you bring a magnifying glass.
Oh, really?
Your head's a little smaller than ours.
Oh, no.
Again.
Oh, no. I don't even mind.
It's time that Jimmy's head gets a little bigger.
How long has this guy been a member of the program?
How long does Jimmy have to be the whole head?
I actually don't mind that. I probably, in fairness, should not be on that wall.
It's all Lil head. I can't tell you how many times we've taken pictures, all three of us, me and Ann very close together, and Jimmy just far enough
further
where
away.
they could go chop in Photoshop.
and I
wham.
And I actually the artwork for Vegas, they tried to put me in the and Jim Norton, and I'm like, take that off. I actually am very comfortable with
It
it.
was like they tried to slam you in there with a mallet.
It's not needed. It's
Can we get a
fun.
picture of our caricatures? Because I hear your head's all.
I have not seen it.
Head.
Tiny head.
It's a slightly smaller than ours.
It's like you were the progeria kid. What the fuck you call those things?
Progeria.
Nothing being nice and being socially relevant. I want to beat progeria kids. I want to punch right through and watch my fist come through on the other side like saran wrap. No more of this responsibility shit.
We're just not going to make it to 11. We're trying, but it's not
We're
happening.
at 5 more minutes, you guys.
I gotta go.
We gotta go.
Yeah, we got to make a phone call.
Yeah.
All right,
So
guys.
we get a
Bond.
minus. We get a minus today.
Peace.
Little minus.
Hey, guys, for the people that are donating, man,
Yeah.
what can I say? That's
877.
awesome.
On behalf of Don Imus, thank you.
877-877-6464.
And if you're on Pal Talk, I put the number right up there at the top of the screen, so please use it.
And make sure we keep this on the pad date all day, or as long as we can. I don't know. I don't know how that shit works. Till noon? Whatever. All right, we'll pick up the calls tomorrow. Bye, guys. Thanks.
Later.
I just ate 4 burritos and drank a pot of coffee. Anyone for trouser chili?
Oh, God damn.
The Opie and Anthony Show.
Oh, God.
Line of the Day is brought to you by Bodog. If you'd like to vote on any of the weekly show polls, go to iliketolisten.com.